Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my platform. Those of you that are returning and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I am here to do a reading for you guys today. So I hope everybody has had a good day wherever you're at in the world. Let me just fix my hair because I don't want it to bother me through the reading. Take my rings off. Okay. Sorry, y'all. So I hope everybody has had a good day. I hope you guys have had an awesome weekend. Please know that my readings are timeless. So whenever you get to this reading, there's going to be messages in here for you. I suggest that you guys watch all of the readings on this platform at your leisure because each reading is going to hold a personal Easter egg of knowledge for you to decode about your own spiritual journey, which I think is very, very beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful process to go through. So yeah, what I would do is, because these readings are to assist you, they're to help you use your discernment and to learn how to use your discernment. My hopes is that you learn how to use your discernment in the readings. Then when you're in real life, if something comes up, you can be like, oh, I remember something that Astraea said about this. And then you apply whatever it is that I said or whatever it is that's going on that you need to use your discernment with to the outcome of the situation. So that is my greatest hope for you guys. Also, if you guys could like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. Please and thank you. It really helps this platform stay alive. And it's so important for you guys to like the content. I really need to see the likes getting up because I show up for you guys a lot. And not to speak on my limitations, but I really do have limitations. And I work very, very hard so that I can show up for you guys. So if you guys could like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. Just even if you don't feel like the message has to do with you, each of these readings will help you learn about situations in case you come across them in the future. So yeah, my readings are timeless. It could be 20 years from the moment that this is filmed that there's still gonna be messages in here for you. So you guys could like the video, if you could subscribe, all of that stuff really helps. Tap the notification bell, leave a comment, hype the video if you see that hype button. All of that stuff really, really helps you guys. And it's so important that you support the platform back because I do tend to get a lot of hatred on this platform and not a lot of love for all of the time and effort that I put out. I devote a lot of my life to this platform. Okay, so that being said, by watching my readings, you are agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my readings, you are agreeing to not attack. I still have not seen one like on the video. You're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me, anybody in the comments, or anybody in the chat. And so, in my personal life, let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. In my personal life, if there's days that I just straight up feel sick, I don't feel good, or I feel there are some days that I know that the trolls be trolling, So on those days, I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I pick up that I'm going to have a bad time on the internet, or if I'm already not feeling good and my energy's not good, I'm not going to come on here and share my negative experiences or negative energy. And I don't want to be in a negative space when I'm drawing people into the reading, okay? And so that is why I do everything in my ability to stay in good space. But due to the consistent bullying that I do experience on this platform, it is hard at times to do that. So I just wanted to let you know that when I'm not on here, I either have something that very important that I have to be doing, or I'm feeling like I'm going to be attacked as soon as I get online. And then I just, oh, thank you. And then I just decide, it's better for me to just keep my peace than to make myself available for people to assault me. Okay, so if you look in the tagged products, you are going to see a lot of different spiritual books. Each of the books in the tagged products are books that I personally have read myself, and they've changed my life in one way or another. And so this is why I talk about them. But there are two books specifically that are tagged in the products and linked in the description box below that I want you guys to be aware of. So I'm going to briefly just go over these books and then we'll get into the reading. The first book is called The Truth of God. It is an advanced intuitive living workbook and it is written by Michael STEADMAN, MichaelSteadman, who is a doctor of divinity. Now, I've been using the techniques from the Truth of God for 10 plus years. I would say like 10 and a half, but 10 years with success. And I use these techniques all of the time. If something doesn't feel good in my life, I go straight to using the techniques from this book. Also, if you hear me asking questions like, if I pull a card and I'm like, okay, well, whose energy is this? I'm not asking spirits. I'm not asking anything around me. I'm literally using the joy versus anger technique, which is a technique that you can get instantaneous. You have instantaneous access to God and to the answers, right? So to yes and no answers. So there's a lot in this book. I'm going to read the back of it if you guys are interested. And if I've got time at the ending of this reading, I will go into depth on it. But just know that this book is going to change your life. It's changed my life. This is the book that has changed my life the most out of all of them. So the truth of God is an evolutionary encounter with that which we know as God, gaining new perspective into who we are and from where we came. First, the journey to God takes you to the realm where it all began, making many discoveries along the way. Next, the story of God explains what has seemed to be indescribable creation and the path that led to what we perceive to be reality. Last, in the spiritual workbook, Michael gives information and techniques that will allow us to free ourselves from those ideas and emotions that are hindering our spiritual progress, and methods to open up the channel between the conscious mind that we are aware of and the inner consciousness that many are becoming aware of, which is like your inner self. But this book is going to teach you about your higher self being God. It's going to teach you about how to control your mind. It's going to teach you about how to clear thoughts and beliefs, how to use your intuition. It's going to teach you how to create a positive reality. There's so many different things in this book that are worthwhile. It talks about prayer and everything else. Everything that you need spiritually to advance yourself and to activate your connection with God is already in that book. And I'm not talking about Bible God. I'm talking about higher self, higher power, the one that Jesus went to, the one that is in us all, inside, going within. This book teaches you how to go within. Okay, the second book I'm going to talk about is the book that I have written, and I love this book so much. It's so addicting. The different tarot card spreads in it are so amazing, and you can use them over and over again. This book is called Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. This is Vassago. He is my great spirit guide and loving friend. And I can truly say he is a friend, because there's been times where I've gotten readings from other people and they would have missed such big things in my life had Vassago not popped in and been like, hey, this person's not picking up on this, this, and this. So anyways, throughout my tarot journey, Vassago has been there for me. That I've never been trained by a person or anything like that, but literally been trained by God, Vassago, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus has helped me out as well. So I'm going to read the back of my book. And then at the ending of this reading, also, I wrote this book off of the original Rider-Waite Tarot, which is what we're going to use in the reading. This deck is called the Quick and Easy original Rider-Waite Tarot. I suggest that when you're learning to read cards for yourself and for others, that you get the original, because if you get the original, then when you go to any other deck, like the Thoth deck, and they give you abstract pictures that really don't have anything to do with what the card means, you'll have the original here. So just to let you guys know, that if you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I pause the collective reading and then I answer your question. But yeah, this deck is the best. It's got the descriptions right on the card. You don't have to go through a separate book. So that is what I wrote Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells on. This is the original. Tarot is not, out of all types of divination, and again, I'm not an expert at all types of divination. I'm really, I first started doing readings with just talking with people. My abilities just work the way that they work. But I will tell you this, tarot cards are fairly new. Okay, they were invented in the 1400s as a game, like Uno. They were not even created with the intention for divination. Okay, however, in the 1700s, way later, in a different part of the world, by the way, somebody figured out that all the energies in the tarot deck can be used to predict past, present, and future patterns. And also, this deck, so how Vassago, I won't go into everything about tarot because I know you guys want to get into the reading, but Vassago explained tarot like this. While you're a human, you will experience every card in the deck at one point or another. That's how it maps human consciousness, and it's really not any more complicated than that. Okay, so I'm going to read the back of my book, and then we will get into the reading. So Astraea Love, that's me, is a psychic intuitive that has been living in between the spiritual and physical world since she was a little girl, playing with the fairies in her backyard. She has helped countless people find answers to their questions about their life experiences with the help of the Most High God, providing inspiration in many forms. This book was inspired by the Ars Goetia spirit known as Vassago. He has assisted me in designing the different tarot card spreads in this book so that they cater to your personal experience. I, for one, know how difficult it can be to read cards for yourself due to our personal attachment to the outcome. This book will assist you in getting past that blockage and in obtaining the spiritual truth that will set you on your divine life purpose, aka spiritual path. This book of never before created major arcana spreads. And major arcana cards are your guys' favorites, like the Lovers, the Empress, the Emperor, the Chariot, the Strength, the Sun, the Moon, the World, the Star. I mean, they're my favorite. They're my favorite cards out of the deck. The Death, the Hangman, the Last Judgment, Justice, all of those are the Magician. Did I say High Priestess, Hierophant? So yeah, those, the Fool, those are the, wow, High Priestess flipped over. Those are the major arcana cards. So this book of never before created major arcana spreads references the standard Rider-Waite tarot deck for all explanations and includes spells and rituals for each of the 22 cards. Different card combination descriptions are gifted from my years of practical knowledge and are included in the additional notes section. Okay, so I had a couple different, let's get the likes up, you guys. I had a couple different messages come through. One was about like, well, they're all about releasing things, letting things go. But one was about if somebody, look, if somebody doesn't want to forgive you, or if they don't want to let go of some past perceived wrong that you've done to them, maybe you, and again, look, nobody is perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, okay? None of us are perfect. But I get that you could have apologized. First, this is for some of you. These readings are for you to use your discernment, okay? Because I'm reading the collective energy. So some of the reading will be for you and some of the reading will be for somebody else. But you using your intuition and discernment is going to be key because you're practicing with these readings, and then in your real life, it should be much easier. So, like I was saying, if somebody has a perceived wrong that they're holding against you as some form of grudge, okay, all you can do is ask for forgiveness if you feel like you've wronged that person. And what does wrong that person mean? It could be anything from like a childhood beef, you know, when your kids, like bullying happens. It could be anything from that to taking somebody's boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever it is. Like, it could be somebody thinking you took their job, whatever it is. If somebody's not willing to forgive you, don't waste any more time on it. Pray on it. Pray that God, whatever your version of God is, the higher power, the higher self, the unconditional love, joy, compassion, and peace, pray that that comes into that person's heart. And don't hold yourself so, like, depending on what has been done. Now, if you like straight up did something really bad to somebody, then I would say try to get an apology to them, right? But just know that why Jesus was so peaceful is because he knew how the law of attraction worked. He knew that you do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And if you don't want to be hurt and harmed, then don't hurt and harm others. He knew that, right? But the way that he spoke to everybody was in parables, and some people understood and some people didn't because they were different, right? And it's okay. I love diversity. I think that diversity makes this world a very interesting place. And I think that there is a lot, I think different cultures are very interesting. And even though they're very different from one another, I still think that each one of them holds value. And because I don't really associate myself being adopted coming from any certain type of culture, really, I get to experience all of them in a unique way. I remember well, one of the school things that I did, we had like a country day, and each person was assigned a country, and we had to like create a dish, like a meal from that country and bring it to school. And then we had like a big potluck. I loved that. That was like so exciting to me. So I feel like, celebrating diversity, but also learning to love and respect one another is probably where we're at. It's where we should be going anyways. So I just want to let you know about Louise Hay. We're going to start with some positive affirmation cards, and then we'll get into the tarot. This one says life loves you cards. And Louise Hay is no longer with us, God bless her soul, but she was a wonderful person. She created a lot of different books and a lot of different affirmation decks. And what I love about these affirmation decks that I have of hers is that they're double-sided, like it's got words on both sides. I really like that. And they're very, very positively charged. So when I pull these cards, this is going to be talking about basically the advice. It's going to be partially some of the advice that comes through. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Please like the video, please and thank you. I really would appreciate it. This first one says, I am willing to forgive. What were we just talking about? Literally forgiveness. Forgiveness is a gift to yourself. It allows you to release the past. Go to the mirror and say, I forgive myself, I forgive everyone, and I forgive the past. I say yes to being a better receiver. When you are willing to receive, a gift appears. Isn't that lovely? Write a love note to yourself. What is it that you most need or want to hear? I am worthy of my own love. Loving thyself. I know it can be hard to love thy neighbor as you love yourself, but this is the first step, okay, to creating peace. I think that peace is a very important part of life. And once we bring peace into like our finances, we bring peace into our daily life, into our relationships, then things always just end up working out well. And it doesn't matter what side of the coin falls. It's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune card, where if you know about a Wheel of Fortune, usually it's on like gambling things, but you probably go to the fair and they've got the wheel. You spin that wheel, you know it's going to land on a prize. Isn't there a TV show called The Wheel of Fortune as well? Every time you spin that wheel, you know it's going to land on a prize, which means that every time you decide to play, every time you decide to spin the wheel, it lands on a gift, right? So there is no losing when it comes to the Wheel of Fortune, even though the Wheel of Fortune has to do with destiny and fate. Sorry, you guys, dyslexia. I am creative. Honor your unique gifts. Think of 3 ways you could express your creativity today. So I'm already picking up that there are a lot of jinn around right now. I mean, I can literally sense them in my peripheral, but they don't always show up. Like, they're not always here. So I don't know if that's significant to any of you. And my personal experience with the jinn, I haven't come across one that's been evil. So, but they are like people, like they have their own world and stuff. So there could be something about getting wishes fulfilled, even though they were never created to grant wishes. Besides the point, I think that they're here for protection for someone. I nourish myself. Decide that today you will eat only food that loves you. You know better than anyone what is best for you. For some of you that are not sure what foods are best for you, one thing you can do, actually 2 things. 2 things that you can do. Well, you can go to the dollar store and just, if you're in America, okay, if you're in another country, I don't know if they have dollar stores, but you can just get like a regular notebook, okay? And then for each day, write the date, then write 3 different times. I would write for each meal that you have, I would put 15 minutes and then 30 minutes. And then after you eat that meal, first of all, I would start with simple foods like like blueberries, eating something, isolating it, right? Because by doing this, you're going to be able to figure out what foods are good for you and what foods are not good for you. Write down what you ate. 15 minutes later, set a timer. Check it in with your body. How do you feel after eating that? I would rate things on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 not feeling good, 10 feeling good. If at 15 minutes you feel more energized, boom, I would put a check mark next to that type of food. And then at 30 minutes, do the same thing. Take another internal assessment. If you feel like that food is treating your body well and you still have energy flowing, make note of that. And then by doing that, you can fine tune your diet so that you are eating the things that your body agrees with. Now, you can also eat via the chakras. So let's say you're working on the throat chakra. You could get blueberries. What else is blue that's a fruit? I think that's the only thing I can think of. Let's say you're working on the heart chakra, which is green. You could get lettuce. You could get cucumber. So you can eat via the chakra system and be feeding your chakras. That's another way that that you can, and I would be praying over your food, you know, blessing it, praying over it, consecrating it. All right, let's get like 2 more cards and then we'll get into the tarot. I am flourishing. I love roses, you guys. Every type of, I'm obsessed with roses. I've always been. So I have them lining my yard, right? And when I go shopping for roses, I'm like no longer allowed to get roses because I have them lining my yard, right? And they get really big, but I always get the ones that smell really good. Each type of rose is going to represent a type of love. And what I love about roses is that they're all unique. So it says, imagine your income expanding easily and effortlessly. Trust that all of your material needs are being met by the universe. Yes, they are. Even if things seem like grim, just know that sometimes we're not allowing things to come in. Sometimes we're blocking our own blessings by thinking that we can't achieve something. So that's why I really feel like affirmations help. I really feel like opening ourselves up and releasing the past really helps. I trust my inner ding. D-I-N-G. You were born with an inner knowing. What Louise calls your inner ding, listen to it and let it guide your actions. So whether you're guiding a family, whether you're guiding a business, whether you're guiding just yourself, or whether you're guiding a support group, just know that you have an inner ding. You got something to live for. We're going to get one more. I like this one. Life wants me to be happy. Happiness is your natural state. I truly do believe this. I think that when we don't feel happy, there's something inherently wrong about that. And there are days that I experience lots of witchcraft, and I'm not the happiest person on those days. So those are the days sometimes that I don't do readings because I don't want to be bringing that energy to the table. But I will tell you this. I always remind myself, even when I am experiencing the evil eye and stuff like that, I always remind myself that happiness is a natural state of existence. And I know that God, the divine realm, because again, I love Jesus, but I'm not a Christian. The divine realm wants you to be happy. Your higher self wants you to be happy. Okay. And I don't have anything against Christians. Please don't think that. I just am not one. I grew up in Catholicism, and because of the Latin barrier and the learning disabilities, I didn't really understand what's going on. So I didn't get to take a whole lot of that like with me into my life. Not to say it's completely useless. It's just I didn't, anyways, they should have just done everything in English. So, what is life teaching you about your true happiness right now? It's okay to ask yourself questions as well. Like sometimes when you're not asking yourself why you feel a certain way, you just keep staying in that energy. And I don't want you guys to be living in other people's energy. I don't want you guys to be empathically picking up on what other people are going through and thinking that's your problem. So if you're not feeling happy about something, please ask yourself, what is it that's making me so upset? Obviously, most of the time you're going to know, but if you don't, if you can't figure out why you feel a certain type of way, the energy is not your energy. I follow my joy. Your thoughts influence the kind of day that you'll have. Name 3 ways you could make today even more enjoyable than you thought it was going to be. Okay, I'll name 3. 1, doing the techniques from the truth of God. That's going to make any day better. 2, drinking this stuff. It's called water. It does us a lot of good. And charging the water with positive intention. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And also drinking Powerade. Well, this is like a dollar store version of Powerade, but electrolytes. That's another thing that really helps balance the body. So I trust the guidance of the universe. Trust that everything that you need to know is being revealed to you in the perfect space-time sequence. So if we knew everything all at once, and I do not ever pretend to be all-knowing. Like, I do have abilities that help me to see and know things that others do not, but I am not the all-knowing source, okay? But I do get to see little snippets of things. And if I were to see it all at once, I'd probably go insane, because there's so much more to life than what we believe and what we can perceive. And so I think that when we can stop and smell the roses and look at the beauty in things and look at the beauty in a child, children are such good stimulus for happiness, by the way. Look at the beauty in a pet, spending some time with a pet, that type of thing. Going even for a walk. I know it's probably really hot wherever you guys are at. It will depend, unless you're like in Antarctica. But yeah, going for a walk, maybe waiting till nighttime to go for a walk. If you feel like you're not safe enough to walk at night, take, it's called pepper spray or bear spray. Take that with you. And if you do go hiking in the woods, take bear spray with you, okay? I personally am not a fan of weapons. I'm a very peaceful person, and I don't like guns. And that's just my personal preference because they scare me. But pepper spray is a non-lethal way to protect yourself, okay? And then, of course, God willing, always pray before you do things. And don't be focusing on what you don't want when you pray. A lot of the times we do that. Let's get the likes of you guys, please, and thank you. A lot of the times when we're praying, and this is something that I had to come to terms with, and then literally stop praying in that way. I'd be focusing on all the stuff I was going through and praying on that, when really, like Psalm 91 from the book of Psalms works on, it protects you from every type of situation. So yeah, Psalm 23 is also a really good one. Psalm 28. If you're wanting to get rid of generational curses, Psalm 51 is very good for that. And it's also good for repentance. So I personally am a lover of the book of Psalms, a big lover of it, due to the fact that, first of all, it wasn't just King Solomon that wrote the book of Psalms. There's many other authors that have not been listed in it. But what I love about it is that everybody that wrote the book of Psalms had their own relationship with God. They didn't have a Jesus to go to because it was written before Jesus's time. Before the what is it? They had the Old Testament and then the New Testament. And yeah. So that's what I love about the book of Psalms. Very, very empowering. All right, so I'm just giving the cards a shuffle, and we're going to see what it is that needs to be released, and we're going to release it today. There's no need for us to find out what needs to be let go of and then stay holding on to it, okay? All right, so God, divine realm, spiritual teachers, spiritual beings. I also feel like, you guys, that a veil is being lifted at this time. This could be a veil from being over somebody's finances to where you're going to be able to see whatever the financial issue was and then immediately address it. This could also be a veil that was over your eyes, keeping you from seeing something that was right in your face. Sometimes we get so close to the issue that we're dealing with that it's right in front of our face, but we just can't see it, right? And that's what these readings truly are for, to help uncover the things that need to be seen so that you can grow closer to the divine and do the will of your higher self. And, you know, the moment that we recognize that our higher selves is God and that God is all loving, all compassionate, non-judgmental, peaceful, that's when we start to really evolve as people and we take on those positive traits that, you know, I would rather be like my higher self, my highest self. I feel like that is the divine realm. That is who I would rather be like rather than some random celebrity that I don't know. You know what I mean? So, oh, I love Ariana Grande. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to see what the tarot has to say. The Two of Cups. I really like this card, you guys. Okay, so you can see the healing caduceus right there. I think that's what it's called, caduceus. That's in between the cups. It's like a stick. It's got two serpents that go up it. This guy right here is kind of given demiurge energy, but I'm not necessarily getting that for sure. So I do get that the power of the lion, the power of the bird, both of these things have to do with the heart chakra and the crown chakra. So when I look at the Two of Cups, it can represent two people coming together, a love union. It could be an arranged marriage, a not arranged marriage, and this can also be a spirit marriage. Now, personally, spirit marriages to me are a weird concept. I don't feel like they're super appropriate, but if you ever find out that you're in one of those, I would ask God to break that, like break you away from that. Because some people do experience that. I know it sounds real weird because it's so abstract in my mind. Also, the Two of Cups represents to me, whenever I see it, it's usually talking about somebody's divine soul contract, either with a lover and slash or with God. So it's like you coming together with God in oneness to move forward. So it could also be talking about a new love affair. This could be with the universe. It could be with your higher self. I just heard stop. So maybe somebody doesn't want this information to get out. You will be in sync with one another. Two people finally come together after a long flirtation. A broken relationship is healed through forgiveness. What was I saying about the forgiveness at the beginning? That if somebody can't forgive you, if they want to hold a grudge, like pray that God comes into their heart and then release them. That's basically all that we can do. And again, then try not to make the same mistake, whatever the mistake is that you think that you made or that they think that you made. A lot of the times it's just a miscommunication, to be quite honest. But then sometimes you guys have divine soul contracts, actual jobs and contracts with the universe to fulfill at different times and transitions in your life. And when those don't come into fruition, the universe starts to cause either endings and new beginnings. I mean, that's two sides of the same coin to occur so that you will move in the right direction. Because if we just stay in one spot, we're not going to become our fullest potential. So also this could be about multiculturalism. Is that a word? If it's not, I just made it up. But it's about blending different cultures together in a way that there can be synergy, like being in sync with one another, being at peace with one another. I'm also getting, so if you're marrying outside your culture, or if you are dating outside of your, what race, just know that everybody's background is going to be different. Okay. And sometimes it's like a fresh drink of water to have somebody that's got a different background, but both sides coming together to create a long-lasting relationship and blending those cultures, I feel like it creates the most beautiful, wonderful people. I'm also getting the start of a new relationship with God. Like this is going to be the beginning of your happily ever after with the divine. That's what I'm literally getting. And when you are so close to God, your higher self, when you have that connection within yourself, you become a prophet, you become a teacher, you become somebody that knowingly and unknowingly is representing the divine. The Emperor. I love this, you guys. This is awesome. The Emperor is a great card. Forget the fact that this person looks old, because you can be an emperor at 20. Like, just depends maturity level. But the Emperor is somebody that has a loving relationship with their father. And that could be Father in heaven. Again, I do not think that God is a man or a woman. I think that God is something other. It's like God is beyond what we can use with words, to be quite honest. It's just positive, all positive. That's my experience with God. So you are the master of your own emotions now. When you take away, like, and this is why, by you forgiving yourself and asking for forgiveness when it's necessary, doing your best by putting your best foot forward and not hurting people, because again, we always have the opportunity to either do things in alignment with our higher self or not in alignment with our higher self. And if we're acting, and this is what the divine is showing me, is that I don't care if you're in a crowd full of 600 or 800 or 1,000 people that are doing something wrong. You know better. Your soul, your spirit knows better because of this divine contract. So you don't do it, because those people, they'll experience repercussions. Okay, they will, but it may not be right away. For you, if you were to make a mistake and do what other people do, beat up on people, whatever other stuff, the karma would instantly hit you, because you know better, and spirit knows that you know better. So I would just stay out of fights, stay out of gangs, the mafia, cults, covens, secret societies. I would stay out of those types of groups, because they may want you to commit to doing something that goes against this divine contract that you have with the creator. So also your dreams, you guys could be remembering your dreams. Some of you are not remembering your dreams, which I think is questionable. But those of you that are, I would be recording them. For me, dreams are symbols. Like, I always look at it as a symbology. There's a website called dreamdictionary.com. You can go to that website. It's completely free. And you can type in everything that you need to know about the dream that you just had. It will bring up some interpretations. Always use your discernment and intuition. The way that you felt when you wake up, write it down. Keep a journal with you, or download the Dream app and use that to record it, because it's just important, because you may pick up something on the dream state. Look, I've cleared things that have come from the dream state that would have manifested. And then there's some times where I didn't clear what was in the dream state and it did manifest. So the subconscious mind is trying to work through all of the issues that we have in our waking life. So if you can look at it like through that lens, for example, if I were to be in a vehicle in my dream, like driving a car, that to me represents, like, our body is a vehicle for our soul. We have UFO vehicles, and then our car is a vehicle for our body. So you gotta look at it like as symbology. I would just say that it's going to help you understand whatever the issue is if you do look at it with symbology. Okay, what else do we need to know? Also, you guys could be meant to be leaders, leading a whole group of people away from something that was very self-destructive. That's what I'm getting. So, like, maybe some of you guys want to be therapists. Maybe some of you guys are empathic healers. And maybe some of you guys are scribes and authors and stuff, or artists, or whatever it is that you love to do. It looks like you're going to be leading in it and protecting and defending those that are in a weaker position, right? 10 of Pentacles. I like the 10 of Pentacles card because it talks about gifts. It talks about abundance, a home, inheritance, a gift, a large sum of money. I feel with the 10 of Pentacles card, a lot of excitement about something. So you guys could be getting ready to invest in the stock market. You could be getting ready to invest in some type of conventional wealth building method. And this is all supported. Some of you guys are going to end up creating something that helps, like, just helps the planet, you know? I watched a video yesterday about the people in India using these flowers on their shrines and their statues. I forget what it's called. statues, the statues of their gods, right? They have these festivals and stuff, and they make these beautiful shrines of these deities, and they put these flowers that they turn them into like necklaces and stuff, and they put them as offerings. But then at the end of the day, all of those flowers really create a whole lot of, I would say it's kind of like compost, but the offerings, because it's being offered to a deity, the deity comes and takes the energy out of the offering, and then they just have all these pounds of flowers that are not being used for anything. So I watched a video yesterday about a company that is taking the flowers from the offerings once they're done with them and repurposing them. Some of them roll them into incenses. Some of them use the colors to make dye fabrics. So it's refurbishing something. So finding a use for it, because it's better than just dumping it in the rivers, right? We don't want to be dumping anything in the rivers. Where we have fresh water, we want that to be protected and safe from any type of, because I know, not India doesn't have plumbing everywhere, so it's like just raw sewage going into the waters. But these companies are making use of the leftovers, right? So I think it's like little small practices like that can really make a huge difference on this planet. So when you're given this gift, and this could be something you inherit as well, when you're given this gift, make sure that that you do right by it, that you take care of it. Okay, so I'm going to pause the reading and I'm going to address Kiwi Kid's situation. Is Lilith mad at you? Can I please ask God to show her about Lee Martinez? Is Lilith going to let Irene know that you didn't lie to her? Okay, let's ask. Let me ask her. No, look, Lilith is not a fan of men in general, but I don't get that she's mad at you now. She was when she thought that you had done something. And this is why I feel like it's so dangerous to just conjure up beings and then try to send them to people. Like hell to the nah, you guys. No way, that's scary. Okay, and then is Lee Martinez, Kiwi Kid, your neighbor? Because given creepy neighbor energy. Yeah, my heart just started beating a lot faster. Okay, so Lilith is definitely doing something. She's going to do something. But I'm also feeling a bunch of Jinn here. And, I feel like they're as equally as old, if not even older. Let me just ask, let me just ask. Are the Jinn here for Kiwi Kid? No. Okay, so they're here for a separate reason. Is it a positive reason? Yes. Okay. So what's going on with Lilith? I don't get that she's doing revenge against you now, but it feels to me like she is coming for Steve. That's what it feels like. Is she gonna let me just ask Lilith, are you going to tell Irene that you know that she was incorrect? Yeah, I do feel like she's going to try to communicate with Irene. Yeah. I feel like she's going to try to do this, though, through the dream state, because that's the best. Everybody's gifts and abilities are different. And so that's probably the best way to communicate with her. But she, after finding out that she was doing all of this work on you, she was super vexed. If you don't know what vexed means, it's like angry and frustrated. She was very, very vexed about that situation. And she doesn't like being deceived. And so she feels like Steve is the one that needs to be attacked now because he's the one that deceived everyone. So that's the way that she feels. So yeah, she's going to do something to deplete his resources. And she's also going to do something to keep Irene away from him, because his energy has always given like predator, All right, let's see what the cards have to say, though, about the situation. I just heard the birds talking. So I can read nature. I also, I won't translate what animals say, but I can communicate and I know what animals are saying when they make their noises. So this is what it feels like. In the spiritual realm, the higher dimensions, there's a lot of chatter going on. Okay, you could be hearing a lot of birds or crows, squawk, quack, quack, that type of thing. That's letting you know that that basically the spiritual realm is talking about the situation. And yeah, so I'm not feeling any threat coming from Lilith. No, she's actually very apologetic. Her energy to me, I don't know if you've seen the Maleficent movies with Angelina Jolie, but that's how Lilith appears to me. Very similar to Maleficent. And so Maleficent, if you've seen the movies, she's not really like a true villain. She has her reasons for being the way that she is. So I don't want you to fear Lilith. However, I'm not recommending that people go work with Lilith, okay? Unless you really know what you're doing, I would not. It's just safer not to, because things, yeah, when she gets upset, things can go really bad for people. So let's see what comes out. The Seven of Wands, self-defense. So look, this self-defense, you having to defend yourself continuously, I get that the truth of God is actually helping you quite a bit. You're raising your frequency above that of both Irene and Steve, obviously, but above this situation. So there is a separation between your consciousness and their consciousness, like just a big gap in separation because you've been using the techniques from the truth of God. I also get that for you to stand up for your ideas, there's nothing wrong with that. If anybody is going to come challenge you, they better have a real reason to do so. Okay. And you standing up for yourself, you telling, if you get to have a communication with Irene, you telling her that you did not cheat on her, she's going to be shown signs, okay, that she was wrong. I hope that she interprets those signs correctly. But I get that you should still stand up for yourself because you do still have like a couple people that are trying to compete. Well, they want to challenge your authority, first of all, and they don't have the authority to do that. I mean, one of these people did have the authority. Actually, now I'm picking up on three people. Some of them did have the authority, but they don't now. Okay, so it's like you've leveled up authority-wise in the spiritual realm. And I feel a huge weight has been lifted. But you just need to understand that there's still people that are trying to compete to get the person that you want to be with and to get your time, energy, and resources. So when you become of value to your higher self, God, spirit, you'll see people come out of the freaking woodworks all of a sudden wanting to be a part of your life. Four of Pentacles. This is what I'm talking about. You're activating your spiritual gifts and abilities, which are going to be working like on hyper mode. So that could look like you empathically picking up energy from others. It could also look like you thinking about something and seeing the future. You thinking about someone and feeling their thoughts, feeling their emotions. And for you, this is something that you were born with. The Four of Pentacles is gifts that come from God. When God gives something to you, let some dumb person try to come take it. Nobody can take the gifts that the divine gives away. Because again, this human world didn't give you this gift. Well, these gifts, because it's multiple. The divine did. And even though all spiritual abilities are genetic, sometimes it could be your great aunt or grandpa or whatever that had the gift, and then it skipped all these people and now you have it. So I'm also getting that you have basically come into alignment with your divine life purpose and a contract is being signed. I'm also seeing something with your vision clear up. Like you could be seeing things and it's looking sharper. Be aware that when you come into this huge blessing, And I feel like you may end up using your abilities to help people. There will be people that come out of the woodworks with their hand out, wanting to ask and demand something of you when they would not, when you were suffering and they would not help you at all. Okay. Or they were believing stupid things that are not true. So when it comes to these changes, do not try to resist them because they are for your highest and best good, even if it means releasing people that are no longer serving you. Five of Pentacles. See, you can use this ability that you have to get you out of this energy. And I get that by you defending yourself, even though you don't have a job right now, you could end up creating a job for yourself, working basically on just receiving tips and setting it up that way. I'm also getting that, okay, Steve is about to be swimming in this energy. It looks, for him, things look, they appear on the outside to be going well, but on the inside, no, they're not going well at all. He's keeping a lot of financial secrets, and he's having a lot of like issues with tenants and just issues in general. I wish you would have seriously never met him. Damn. Isn't that suck when you meet somebody that just has such a negative impact? So what do we need to know about the Five of Pentacles? Because that's not Kiwi Kids energy. I feel like you're evading the Five of Pentacles by you using the truth of God and tapping into your higher self. You're basically breaking whatever financial curse was being set over you. And that high priestess that you gave, or high priest, excuse me, that you gave money to, you have now raised your frequency above him. So that's why I'm like, you don't really have anything to worry about when it comes to being attacked in the future. This is why I think you should write a book. Because I don't know of anybody else other than like myself that survived the amount of witchcraft that you've survived. Like I literally, I don't think I've ever come across anybody that's gone through as much as you have. Four of Cups. So just know that, look, when it comes to Steve, he's definitely worried about you. He's worried about you gaining some material possessions, you getting a vehicle. His worries are basically futile. He's screwed. This person is so screwed. When I tell you Lilith is going to destroy his life, she can do that. This is why we don't play with spiritual beings like that. Something weird just popped up on my YouTube saying Pastor Daniel. I don't know if that's relevant to you, but it just popped up as some weird notification. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. I also get that he's emotionally exhausted from trying to keep up this act that he is like the good guy. And, you know, he's being demotivated. He wastes all of his energy with, I'm just going to be honest with this, whatever this sexual stuff is that he's into, he's expending all of his energy. He doesn't have a lot of time to get his life together at this time. So yeah, when Lilith comes in and attacks him, he's not going to be able to defend himself. And he'll probably never figure out why, you know. Yeah, he needs to take action to find the answer to his happiness, because it's definitely trying to make you live on the streets or whatever, make you appear to Irene to be somebody that's not self-sufficient. That's what his goal is. The Hangman. And who was the Leah person? Was that your neighbor? Was that your neighbor, the Leah person? Yeah, their energy is yuck. The Hangman. The Hangman card is all about sacrifice. That's not your energy. It also represents the zodiac Pisces, which is the time frame of Jesus. Let's just say that. It's represented as like a fish. Or maybe it's two fish, but I think it's like two fish that are like this or something. But Pisces energy is water energy. This sacrifice, trying to sacrifice you, is basically backfiring. And what that looks like, I'm not for sure how bad it's going to get for this person, but it looks like you're being liberated. Page of Cups. More water energy. Yes, this person, they could have children, but they're not making their children the priority of their life, which I think is, our children is the greatest, most valuable thing that we have in our lives. I mean, I don't have any children, but that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate them. I also get that this idea of having to destroy others to get one's needs met, that's absolutely not necessary. Ten of Swords, not necessary to destroy other people to have one's needs met. Now, I don't know if Steve is a warlock or not. Doesn't really feel like he is intelligent enough to practice witchcraft, but he may be trying to open himself to the occult, and this is going to go very badly for him. Ten of Swords badly, okay? The moment he opens himself up, he's going to find out that he should have never done any of this. And when it comes to your neighbor, I feel like you're also risen above her as well. Seven of Cups. Yeah, all because of illusions. This is why people that can't balance their shadow and their dark side. Yeah, Lee. Is it Lee? Used to live here. She comes around all of the time around here to these apartments. What a freaking weirdo. I wonder if she's coming back to try to adjust the spell work that she did. Who does stuff like that? What... The moon in the reverse. Are you serious? Yeah. These people. Creativity and imagination are accompanied by dark moods and depression for these people. Possible creative block. Failed examination or test. These people were being tested by the divine. I don't know why they thought they weren't being watched. Lack of clear thinking. Trust others' opinions. Follow their advice and learn from their experiences. Inability to study or learn. Whatever these people think that they're going to study in the occult, they just need to stop, because it's not going to get them out of the karma that they've caused for themselves. Okay, what else do we need to know about this situation? And yes, I do get that Lee does come around. She tries to check on the witchcraft that she did. What if she's not even living there? What is her reason to keep coming around? Like, why is she so obsessed with you? That's what I want to know. Six of Swords. This is talking about a lawsuit. This could be a physical lawsuit, but it doesn't have to be. This could be, maybe she got kicked out of those places, but this could also be being taken to spiritual court and having to flee because of a failed examination and test. Wow. I also get here that these people feel like they're unable to deal with the aftermath of the problems in their life. Like they don't have solid answers. She knows people there. Okay. I wouldn't be afraid of her. You have access to the truth of God, which makes you more powerful. So I wouldn't fear her, but I definitely would avoid her at all cost. If she comes around in any type of way, I would stay away from her. The Tower. These people. Wow. So let me just ask, is Irene going to reach out at any point? You still have the same, she knows your neighbor's there. You still have the same phone number and social media, right? Because there's going to be some type of separation that happens with her and Steve. And when that happens, she may be starting to think of you. I mean, the magic that she did on you is backfiring in her face. And I feel like you're breaking free of it. Queen of Swords. She cut you off unjustly. Or I would just say, I would never, okay, unless I had physical proof that somebody was cheating on me, I would not leave them unless they were being abusive in some other type of way. Okay? She had no proof. She just went off of what somebody else said. That's insane to me. Somebody that she knows wanted to sleep with her. An emotionally balanced woman. She is so, she's survived by cutting people off, but she's not doing as good as she could be doing because she cut the wrong person off. So did she know Steve before she knew you? The Fool. See, she was fooled. She literally didn't know. This is why you don't just blindly believe what people say. I mean, that's crazy. I would never, if somebody was like, oh, your person cheated on you, I would be like, okay, show me some evidence of that. If they don't have any evidence, then I would do my own digging. Obviously, I have abilities, so I would know. But, you know, when I was younger, I still had abilities and I didn't want to believe that I was being cheated on. And it took quite a bit. But I've never had another person come and be like, oh, that person's cheating on you with me. That would be pretty awkward. So she unknowingly cut off the wrong person. Now, that's not to say she can't change the situation and make it better, but you know, she's got to learn how to use her discernment a little bit better and know other people's motivations. Because if she could have seen, and this is why I just don't encourage females to have male friends. Okay. If I was in a relationship with a man, I would not have, well, I don't have really male friends. I don't have any friends actually, but that's not the point. I would never, ever have a male friend because there's been too many times where I've had male friends and they've not wanted to be my friend, right? They're just like waiting for an opportunity. She probably hasn't figured that out yet. 3 of Pentacles. And look, all of these people you outrank them in the spirit. The 3 of Pentacles is a community backing you. So I feel like you're attracting in more people that are going to love you than not love you. What else do we need to know? Is she going to, well, depending on how Lilith handles her part of the situation, is she going to reach out? I think one big issue with her is that she lost faith in the relationship. Page of Pentacles. See, she's consumed with her children right now. And I don't know why I always get the energy of like a male child. Does she have a son? I always get that energy of a male. So just to let you guys know, I was answering Kiwi Kid's question. Okay. Steve's stepson. TJ, is this Steve's stepson? It could be. Maybe this is one reason that she doesn't want to just cut Steve off, but it's going to be for her highest and best good. Because Lilith is going to get inside of this relationship and tear it apart. Interesting. I really don't get any romantic feelings coming from her, though, towards Steve. I don't get that vibe. All right, let's get one more card, and then we'll go back to the collective reading. Ace of Cups, you need to know how loved you are. God loves you. Oh, thank you for the flower. God loves you so much, Kiwi Kid. So, so much. Look at that overflowing cup of love from the divine. This is talking about intense friendships. You're drawing in something that's so much better than what was going on before. It talks about following your heart and your instincts, letting your guard down and opening your heart. Remember what I taught you about walls. If we put a wall up, the best experiences can't get through a wall. Walls exist to keep things out, and it keeps the trauma in and it keeps the good things out. Also, the person that you come into contact with, I feel like Irene is somewhat a trusty person, like someone you could trust. However, the situation being what it is, where she's believed a lie, she needs to come to the realization of that and detach from having male friends, I think, to have any type of relationship. And if she doesn't want to be on her own or whatever this is, she has every right to feel that way. But, you know, prayer can do quite a bit. The sun. Yeah, you may be illuminating a child wound that she has. And that's a good thing. When people trigger us, it's a good thing because it shows us where we're hurt the most and where we need to heal. And so I never look at, even though in the moment of being triggered, I may be really upset, I always later on look at it through the lens of spirit. And I realize that, okay, that happened to me, but it also happened for me so that I could go through an evolution and see things through the lens of love. Okay. But yeah, you're doing really good. You're doing really good. Keep using the techniques. Keep using them. Okay, so let's see what else comes out. I get that, yeah, you guys, if somebody is holding a grudge, they're going to hold a grudge. Pray that God comes into their heart, that they find God in whatever way they find their higher self. And just know that whether it happens today or 10 years from today, the truth will be revealed. Okay? It's an inevitable thing for the truth to always come out. That's why I feel like people who are deceptive are foolish, because the truth is always going to end up coming out at some point or another. All right, let's cut the deck. The water bottle is really, really wet. I just realized that's my last box of tissues and it's empty. Oi! I was going to bring down paper towels, but I forgot. The Magician. Loving this card for you guys. This is you standing in your power, calling your energy back. Everything on this Magician card is a different tool that can be used. And they all have symbols, like symbology to them. I'm also seeing, it looks like roses, red roses on here. And that double-ended candle, I think I've only had a double-ended candle one time. And you basically get those to unbind situations. So when I was working in the metaphysical store, I created a wall of candles that for every type of spiritual issue that anybody could have. And they would come in, they would have me look at their energy, and then I would discern if they needed a crystal or a candle. And then the ones that did get the candles, they would take it home, do the candle, come back to the store. We would check their energy again, make sure that it worked. It always did, of course. But just to give them some more confidence in it. I get that you guys are taking charge of the situation. You're calling your energy and your power back to you. Now, this white flower that's on the card is reminding me of a flower that I just recently seen a little short thing about. And it's a flower that's in the same family as like mandrake and belladonna, but it's a hallucinogen flower. So it's, you know, a spiritual tool. The Magician and the Page of Swords. Okay, so anytime that you see the Page of Swords, you're dealing with a monitoring spirit energy. This could be a person. Sometimes people are monitoring spirits. And then sometimes it's just an actual spirit that's monitoring. I get that whoever's using, if it's divination to spy on you or whatever, look, this person that's using maybe even a crystal ball to look at you. I don't condone looking at people without their consent. Like, I just think that that's inappropriate, but it goes against basically free will. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Yeah, no, it definitely feels like it's because of Steve, but it also feels like it's because Irene believed something that's incorrect. And the other part to it is when all of this stuff went down, were you living by them? Like where she's at now, it feels like a 30-minute drive. I don't know if that's how far away it is, but it feels like it's a 30-minute drive. So I wish there was a way that you could contact her and get in communication with her. I mean, I would probably give it a couple of weeks, but it feels like she's blocked you on every type of social media. And maybe she's changed her phone number. I mean, she's moved on, but she's not happy, which is kind of sad. So we ask the divine to come into Irene's heart. I know that Lilith is going to do what Lilith is going to do, and I can't control that. I would never even attempt to. But we just want We want Irene to realize that she made a mistake. But again, if she doesn't want to be with Kiwi Kid, that's okay. But we want closure in the relationship, like an answer either way. We want to get some closure because I think living without closure makes it hard to let go. And if she was so easy to just release you and let go of you without having any evidence of wrongdoing, I think that that's very foolish. It's very foolish to end a relationship that way. You can still view her Facebook. She's disconnected her number. Does she have Facebook Messenger? Can you send her a message through Messenger? I would be like, instead of addressing it as, oh, I didn't cheat on you, I would be like, hey, how are you doing? I'm just wanting to know if you're doing okay. I think about you all the time. I love you. I care about you, and I would still love to be friends. I would love for you to see my new place, that type of thing. That's how I would be communicating with her. I would definitely wouldn't be like, oh, Steve's a liar and this, and this, because she's going to take that as you just trying to manipulate her. It is hard to let go when you have that situation. I agree. I totally agree. It would be very difficult for me. I would want to like go to their house and show up and make a big scene probably. That's probably not the way it should be handled though. And you know, I feel like partially why her father doesn't like you is because her father believes that you cheated on her. With who though? Like seriously, the hermit. So she's always been kind of a hermit. That's what I get about her energy. I get that you've always been kind of a hermit. There are a lot of things between you and Irene, Kiwi Kid, that do align, but the things that don't align are, well, first of all, you've just now evolved spiritually to a state of existence that is where you have more authority in the spirit than she does. If she's still practicing witchcraft, sorry to say, but God is more powerful than that. God created everything. So yeah, you've got a connection that she doesn't have. Self-reflection, introspection, and solitude. So she could be in solitude. King of Wands. I think this is your energy. Leadership, vision, bold, and vision with the hawk there. Bold and daring, big ego, and optimism. I would be optimistic. I would be optimistic about it, but I also wouldn't be delusional about it. If you have no way to contact her, then, and she doesn't really have a way to contact you, she could have deleted your contact information. But if you can send her an Instagram, a Facebook, whatever, that would be good. That would be a good thing. Offering her friendship, you know, and someone to talk to. And, you know, you can say, if I've done anything to you, if you truly believe that I've done something to you, then I ask for your forgiveness. But I would not look death. I would definitely not come into agreement with whatever she tries to accuse you of, because that may lead to the conversation you have with her may lead to you being accused of stuff that you have nothing to do with. Also, once Steve realizes that he no longer has control of the situation, he's going to start to become even more manipulative. It would be better if she would just like leave him go. Did she know Steve before she knew you? You've been trying to help her with her spiritual gifts? Yes. Yeah, witchcraft is not going to help her spiritual abilities. It'll get her stripped of that if she abuses it. You don't know what all Steve has told her. So did Steve know her before you knew her? Is this like a relationship where she knew Steve and then she met you? Is it like that? Or did she know you and then she met Steve? 9. Transformation, endings, change, and transformation and release is what this is talking. She knew you first. Oh my gosh. See, this is what I was wondering, because Why in the heck would she believe somebody over you when she knew you first? That's crazy. Ace of Pentacles. New opportunities, abundance, prosperity, security, and stability. Look, I feel like if you put your gifts and abilities to use, you're going to be able to bring some type of stability in. And where she's using her gifts to create things that are not in alignment with her, okay? This is one reason that she's not happy with her life. Now, let me just ask, would she be happier if she was with Kiwi Kid? Yes. I get an overwhelming yes. But I mean, after being deceived by Steve and all of this stuff, it would be kind of hard to trust. She needs to like learn how to use her discernment. 9 of Cups, wishes fulfilled, contentment and pleasure. Is this why the Jinn are here? This is why the Jinn are here. Okay, so it has to do with the 9 of Cups for you. Like I was saying, you have a whole spiritual team that wants you to succeed and is going to make sure that all of the stuff that you went through wasn't in vain. I also get that this ending is bringing about a new beginning. She's about to experience an ending, but it's not going to be like, whenever you see the death card, you guys do not get scared. Death just means one door closing. One door closes, another door opens. It doesn't necessarily mean somebody's going to pass away. It can, but it doesn't always mean that. In fact, most of the 99.9% of the time, it doesn't mean that. It usually just means that this is the ending of something. And I get that the ending of whatever this tyranny was that you were dealing with Steve is the beginning of a 9 of Cups for you. A 9 of Cups is happiness, wishes fulfilled. 3 of Wands, looking ahead, confidence, growth, and foresight. So you could go to a body of water like the ocean or a lake and start putting intentions into pebbles or seashells even and throw them into the water. That could be a form of you manifesting. You know, when it comes to manifesting, you don't want to try to manifest a specific person, because if that person's not in alignment with your highest and best good, you don't want to manifest them. 4 of Cups in the reverse. What is this? So the 4 of Cups, okay, like when I tell you guys that sometimes you'll get a deck where you pull a card and the picture has nothing to do with what the card means, then I always keep this original around so that I can go to it and give you the better interpretation. But the 4 of Cups in the reverse is talking about somebody not being bored. It kind of alludes to like being inspired. This is the ending of an illusion, though. That's for sure. Wherefore art thou? 4 of Cups. Also, you're not feeling safe in your root chakra, Kiwi Kid, and that's something that we're going to work on today. Did I pass it? Oh my goodness. 8, the star. I know that we pulled it before. So there's something that I'm not seeing. Okay. Higher self, God, what is it that is not being seen about the situation? It's like hard to locate her for you. That's what you're going through. What is it that I'm not seeing about the situation? Is there something that I'm not seeing about the situation? Your wish fulfillment could literally be with a whole new person. Wow. It could be with somebody completely different. So I wouldn't bind yourself to like having to have it be one specific way. And I'm not for sure why it is. Can we remove whatever's being cloaked? Yeah, whatever the cloak is. Thank you. There it is. See, there was something being cloaked. We had to remove that. Chronic emotional restlessness. This is the Four of Cups in the reverse means. So this is an ending to restlessness, manifesting itself as casual love affairs. Wow, her heart is heavy and empty. Losing the will to strive. New goals and projects are needed. Overindulgence in food and alcohol. Lack of moderation. Failure in love. Cultivate positive thoughts, even though it's difficult. I feel like she needs to work on herself. I feel like you looking ahead is a good thing because your abilities are going to start going into overdrive, Kiwi Kid. And I'll let you know when something is awry. That way, you know, when something is off, you can, yeah, gain the strength to walk away. It takes a lot of courage to stick up for yourself as well. Okay, what else do we need to know about the situation? Wow. You don't live by the ocean. Do you have a lake or a river or stream, any type of body of water that you can access? I think that water is very, very healing for you and may help you get your strength back. 10 of Cups, happiness. Look at this. A river, but it's muddy. That's okay. That's okay. The river is still a bit, you may end up having a beautiful experience at the river. To me, I think I've told you guys about my river experiences. And now I'm not a river person. High Priestess in the reverse. So look, the thing with Irene is she may be a dark High Priestess. The dark High Priestess is like, I don't want to say that they do evil, but well, first of all, she was working with Lilith. Lilith is a beautiful, loving being. I don't want to say anything bad about her, but she is one of the darker goddesses, right? So I think that says something about the type of work that she does. This may be an end to her being a dark High Priestess, you know. And again, that would kind of be a good thing for everybody, for her to get into alignment. So I think that you should start putting yourself out there and not be so stuck on Irene, because we can't change other people. Emotional instability. Wow. So she's very unhappy right now. Clouded thinking and recklessness, overly emotional attitude and impulsive actions will have negative consequences. Conceited, shallow personality indicates sexual enjoyment without commitment or feeling. Yikes. Beware of a deceitful, unfaithful woman who appeals to a man's instincts. She leads men to destruction. That shit right there sounds like Lilith. I'm not going to lie. Well, maybe not the emotionally unstable part, but the last part, she leads men to destruction. That's like literally the definition of what she does. And the Four of Cups in the reverse. She tries not to be. You've been teaching her witchcraft to help her with her gifts. Yeah, witchcraft is not going to help anybody with gifts. I mean, unless the witchcraft is teaching them how to go within and access their gifts. And when you have spiritual gifts, you have to use them to figure out how they work. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. Look, the Lovers. The Lovers just came out. 10 of Cups and the Lovers. I feel like if you end up giving up on her in this situation, you're going to draw in somebody that's much better. You don't have to teach things to. And you may have taught her some witchcraft, but I would not be teaching people witchcraft, because then you never know what they're going to do with it. She like sought out Lilith, like specifically. because she is holding some type of hatred towards you, which is completely unjust, but it just, you know, it feels like karma. Okay, what else do we need to know? The Lovers coming out, the Nine of Cups, happily ever after, the Ten of Cups, wish fulfillment, and the Lovers and the Strength. This looks like it's propelling you into something that's beautiful. I don't do witchcraft. Thank you. You've got to go, person. I don't communicate with spirits. Okay, thank you. I use my own intuition, my own connection to God. And secondly, I don't have to explain myself to you. You don't even know me. You don't know anything about me. Glitch. You're a glitch to the system. Stop acting like you know what I'm doing and that you know me. You don't know anything about me. Leave me alone. Oh. I block your psychic attack and I accuse you and report you to God, which is basically what my job is. Sorry about that, Kiwi Kid. She bought spell books because you encouraged her. She's always been into the metaphysical. Okay, well, that's good that she's into something that's, you know, spiritual. Again, a tool is a tool. Just depends how you use it. For me, I don't know what traditional spell books are like. So I don't know anything about that type of stuff. I only pretty much study how to get rid of witchcraft. I don't really care about doing any of it. Because my connection to God is so much more powerful and I know how to manifest. So it's not like it's needed. But, you know, if I ever am going to do a spell, it's going to be on myself, you know, like with Vassago tarot card spreads and spells. Those are all, you can't even use it on anybody else. It's only for you, to benefit you. Three of Swords, and it includes God. And so really, you can't, look, Three of Swords, the High Priestess in the reverse and the Three of Swords. Just to let you guys know, I am answering Kiwi Kid's question until the timer goes off. The Three of Swords, heartbreak and pain, separation and grief, sorrow and trauma. That's probably what she's feeling. I feel like if she still has any type of love towards you, she'll reach out. I don't get that she has relationship feelings towards Steve, though. So she's really going through it. She's about to go through it in a big way. King of Cups. This card came up for you as well before. You don't know what she bought Steve. Message us so you haven't been in communication like you used to for 2 years now because of him. That's really sad. I feel like this is going to turn you into a very wise person, though, this whole situation. I can still feel that weird person trying to send the evil eye. That's another thing of people trying to steal your person, of what needs to be healed within you, is why do people keep trying to steal your person? The Three of Swords is like having a third party. And that's basically, her believing a lie is hurting herself. Judgment. And she's going to be up under judgment because she shouldn't have taken no action on without having any proof. You know, there's some people you can't mess with, and people just need to understand that. When you give your life to God, like truly give your life to God, look, the Two of Cups, going back to the soul contract, when you give your life to God, your life doesn't belong to other people. So through the transformation that you go through this process, you're going to be somebody, well, you already are becoming somebody that's very wise. Now you know what the signs are to look for. If there is a way you can contact her, you know, like I said, I wouldn't bring up the issues right away, but it's a very hard situation. It's difficult because of the choices that she took. And it's also difficult because of the situation that you're in as far as not having access to a vehicle and however far away that she is. Just to let you guys know, if you have any personal questions, to send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I'll pause the collective reading and answer your question. But yeah, what I get is that if she decides to continue to follow up this BS, she's going to be informed by Lilith one way or another. I think Lilith is going to try to get through to her. But if she decides that what she wants is, you know, not to be with you, then that's what she decides. And I would hope that you would be able to move forward and open up your heart to a new person that would be able to love you. Even though I do feel like Irene, you and Irene have a lot of things that are in common. It's just this situation with Steve, and you know, you attract a lot of evil eye for some reason. But by you using the techniques, I can tell that you've been using the techniques in the truth of God. I can feel it. So there's nothing that you need to worry about when it comes to that. Okay. So yeah, if you guys are being gang stalked, you need to know that that's not something that everybody goes through. Okay, if you have to have a group of people come up against you, you're obviously doing something correct. All right, so we're going to pull a couple more cards. I'm just going to shuffle and cut the deck, and then we'll see what else. You're welcome. You're going to get through this, Kiwi Kid. You're already past the hardest part of it. Now it's just kind of like, I don't want you to sit around and wait forever for somebody to come back to you and realize your worth. Once you realize it, start putting yourself out there again. Okay? 3 of Wands. This is beautiful, you guys. Through a careful, through a project, let's say that, and careful planning, you guys will bringing new ideas to the forefront. It could be a new business idea. Just anticipate regular obstacles and visualize yourself overcoming them. It says develop contacts. Your exceptional leadership skills will be needed. Others consider you a visionary. I love that. Carefully weigh any risks. And that's in life in general. Okay? If you feel like the timing is off on you bringing a new project or a business to the forefront, if you feel like the timing is off, then wait, listen to your discernment. I do feel like you guys have what it takes to make it big. 10 of Pentacles, this is what I'm talking about. The 10 of Pentacles is talking about a gift, a large sum of money, you having like a house, a picket fence, a dog, a horse, whatever it is that you desire. It also talks about an inheritance. And then conventional wealth building methods. Don't be thinking that you can just like scam people or what is it, get rich quick schemes. When I think of get rich quick schemes, I was told about this thing that used to exist a long time ago, and an older person told me about it. Anyways, it was called Pet Rock, and it was literally a rock that you give your kid, and then they paint it, and then it turns into their pet. Like some person created that theory. That's like, to me, is like a get rich quick scheme, right? Off of something silly. Now, if you have any good ideas like that, shoot, bring them to the forefront. The Tower, but I'm getting that it would be better to invest in things that give you long-term return. The Tower talks about, and this is not your energy right now, but this is somebody else's energy in direct connection to you. They're in the Tower because of whatever they were doing to you. So it looks like their long-held beliefs are being challenged because their long-held beliefs were not the truth. I mean, literally. This is also another thing why the Jinn are around. Their belief system is changing. I feel like this Tower energy is talking about, for these other people, if they've been gang stalking or whatever they're doing, even if it's just witchcraft or whatever, once they get rid of something, a way of thinking or someone, and not unalive them, get rid of them, but cut them off, like get them out of their energy, get them out of their life, walk away, then they'll realize that getting rid of that person, place, or thing was for the best. And this could be even them putting down a substance, putting down an idea, and releasing something. When a Tower comes, the Tower looks scary, but it's not always a negative thing. Sometimes Towers have to happen so that we can move in a new direction. And so I don't always consider it to be a negative thing, but I do get that these people who were coming up against you, maybe they think that their religious class gives them the authority. I don't know. These people are weird, but they don't have authority to come up against you. And also, they're not powerful, even though they've gathered themselves together. They're still weak. You've had to pout a lot trying to take care of yourself with all this black magic. Yeah, I totally understand. Okay, so let's look at the situation with your mother and see what comes through. What is the correct deck? Do we use this deck? No, we use this deck. Good old Thoth. I freaking love this deck. Actually, I feel like I want to use this other one. I love Thoth, but since I get to choose, we're going to use the classic tarot. Okay. So let's look at the situation with your mom. Now that situation, oi. Okay. So you pray that your mom helps you out with your rent. You've had to pay out a lot. Yeah. So whoever that high priest was that you were giving money to, do not ever speak to that person again. Do not give them money. Okay. They were literally, and this is what the other psychic and I could not, we were like literally dumbfounded that after you had donated to that person, that they were cursing you. What? Who would do that? Like, that's insane. And then these ancestors that person claims to work with are not no ancestors. They're straight up demonic things. They were demons. So I'm like, does this person believe that their ancestors are demons, or do they believe that these demons are their ancestors? Either way, your rent scares you. That was in 2020, I know. But things had gone downhill for you financially since then. So, yeah, when was the last time that you talked to your mom? And is your mom in a place that you could go visit her, or does she also live far away? Ace of Pentacles. Look, God is going to find a way to provide. Literally. And remember what I said about having a reevaluation done on all the stuff that you have going on. Like, put in the paperwork to have a reevaluation done. It says abundance, manifestation, opportunity, new career or financial opportunity, new venture, prosperity. So you are being guided to do something that's completely new. I was just thinking she just moved back to the state. I was just thinking that if she had things around the house that needed to be done that you could do, that would be a good thing. That way she doesn't think that you're just, it just depends on your, like, have you borrowed money from your mom and not paid her back? Look, the moon. Why is the moon still showing up? This is starting to really tick me off. Why is the moon here? Illusion, mystery, dreams, intuition, fear, anxiety, subconscious, and premonitions. Why is that showing up here? And the number 18. So there's some type of moon magic going on with your mother. Is this a genetic thing that's happening? Yes. So it's affecting him, or is it just affecting her? Okay. I guess it was affecting you, but it's not now. Well, let's clear the thing for the entire generation. Knight of Cups. Yeah. So, you still have, you show up as the Knight of Cups and you show up as the King of Cups, which means that you have a lot of love. And I feel like if you can make a connection with your mother again, that would be a really good thing. Creativity, romantic charm. I think that it's in a mother's best interest to keep her child off the street if she can. If she's in a financial bind, Seven of Cups, the moon and Seven of Cups being stuck in her shadow side. There is like an incompatibility with you and your mother. That's the biggest challenge that I see with this situation. Knight in shining armor. Yeah, coming to her rescue. I mean, do you have other siblings? Your mom scares you too, yeah. Do you have other siblings? Like, what is her relationship with the other people in your family? It seems to me like you were much more compatible with the stepfather. Yeah, I mean there's like a kinship there. 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. Hmm. You always had a rocky relationship, but you do have a stepbrother. Is that somebody you can contact? Look, I get that if your mom can help you, she probably will. I also get that, if there may be a wish that's about to come true, especially when it comes to the moon magic and the crap that was being done. Yeah, that's getting removed. I can feel it. It's being like lifted off. Okay, so what do we need to know? Working on your relationship with your mother would be a good thing. If you can go see her, ask her if you can go see her and see how it goes. Maybe things will be a little bit better this time without the witchcraft being here. I think, look, she was never, your mother is not, she's not religious. Like I don't get any type of spirituality coming from her, like at all. So she was probably caught unaware with this magic, completely unaware. The Fool is not a bad card though. It's being unaware. Also, if she gives you money and you tell her that you're going to pay her back, pay her back. Same thing with your stepbrother. With the relationships that you do have, don't abuse those, because even if you don't think that they're significant now, trust me, like your mother's going to want somebody by her side when it's her time to go. That type of situation. The World. And she could have struggled throughout her entire life to make ends meet. I get the wish fulfillment in the World. You're about to have a major breakthrough. Completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life arriving. Yeah. If she's in the same area, there's nothing that says that you can't work on your relationship with her. And if it's too far, if she's living too far away, she was raised in the church, but she's not like what I would consider somebody to be super religious. Like she's not, well, it just doesn't look like religion's done anything for her. Page of Pentacles, you're still her child though. At the end of the day, you're still her child. Okay, with the moon magic being removed, is it going to get better? Is the situation going to get better? I feel like you need to have a good talk with her. Your family has money. They just don't want to help her, anyone, only immediate family. But if they've got the money, like you need to tell them you need to tell them your situation. Be honest with them. 2 of Cups. This is talking about your soul contract. But yeah, be honest with her and contact the people that are in your family and ask, the worst thing that can happen is they say no, but I feel like it would be natural for a mother, especially if she's got it. Now, if these people were struggling, that would be something different, but I feel like karmically it would be in their best interest to help you. Ace of Cups, when your mother and father forsake you, it is God who is your family. So that's what I would be relying in, is your connection to God and that overflowing cup of love. Compassion. It doesn't seem like your mother is very compassionate. She could also be blaming you for something. Do you know what she's blaming you for? Is there something that she's blaming you for? Maybe she blames the world because she doesn't have the stepdad anymore. But I'm getting this feeling of blame or like accusation. 3 of Cups. Celebration, friendship, collaboration, creativity, friendship, community, happiness. Yeah, you want to be a part of her life. That point blank period, she's your mother. I think that it would be very reasonable. I'm also getting that, you know, when she lends, if and when she lends you money, or if and when somebody else in your family does, or if you have to ask somebody else, okay, start doing something with your abilities. Start writing a book, start creating something, because that's where I see the true success is going to come in, is for you being able to get donations or something like that. It's going to be some type of like unrecordable income. For a while, it'll be unrecordable until you get so much of it that you don't, that it's recordable, right? But I think that trust is a big issue in the family. So maybe that's why she's blaming. Page of Cups. So I'm wondering if she thinks that you're wanting money to go get the finest things in life. You really need to be honest with creative opportunities, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibility, happy surprise, dreamer, sensitivity, and new love. You need to be very honest with her about your exact situation. And tell her that you don't have Irene. Fill her in with your situation, that you don't have anybody to lean on. You're literally on your own. And that you need your mother. I mean, it's okay to say that. King of Pentacles. There will be somebody that lends you money. It may be a masculine person. Okay. Wealth, business, leadership, security, discipline, abundance, prosperity, generosity. Yeah, so you may run into somebody who's extremely generous. I think that that would be awesome. So if they've got money, they should not have a problem with helping you out. If this is like a one-time occurrence, you know what I mean? You have to show these people that you're going to pay back whatever you borrow. 7 of Swords. Betrayal, deception, getting away with something, acting strategically, trickery. What and the literal HE double hockey sticks is going on here? The 7 of Swords means that there's only one choice that can be made. It's like running away from making a decision. Is this a future betrayal? Who is the betrayal from? Why is that? Oh, that's not even happening to you. That's happening to somebody else. Okay. So I don't think you betrayed your mother. I don't think that there's any reason that she shouldn't give you the money. I think it's logically for you to be okay, unless she's some type of crazy, evil, sadistic person, then she would not want to give you the money. But if she can, I think that she will. 10 of Cups, because if, you know, in any mother's mind, we would think that they would want to see their child happy. Some people's parents are just straight up came from hell or something. I don't know. Like, so, but I'm not getting that your mom is a horrible person. I'm getting that she has an opinion about you, not paying things back, borrowing, or coming in and out, or whatever her opinion about you. I don't think it's completely fair, because she's taking account things that happened when you were a child. But I also feel like, you know, if she were to, God forbid, anything to happen to her, she would be feeling regretful that she didn't like love you more, spend more time with you, that type of thing. And that I don't want that for her. Knight of Pentacles. I want you guys to come together. So we pray that God comes into her heart as well and softens her heart towards you. This Knight of Pentacles, I feel like she just needs to see that you're willing to do, and you can ask, hey, Mom, I would love to come see you. If there's anything that you need done around the house, I can help you with that. I know you have vision stuff going on, but there'll be certain things that us as women, it's just not easy for us to do. It's easier to pay somebody, right? Or to have a handyman type person around. So yeah, there will be probably things that you can do to work off the debt. But also stop spending your money on charms. Charms are not helping. You're evolving to a space where charms are not going to do hardly anything. You clearing the thoughts and beliefs and changing your perspective and your vibration is going to change every situation on the outside of you. So let's see. And if your mother thinks that you're like a witch, maybe you should let her know that you're not, like a wizard or witch, whatever. 5 of Wands. I mean, competition. Ew, this competitive energy. Why is this coming through? Rivalry, conflict, disagreement, strife, and tension. Does this have to do with the mother, or is this these other people? These other people have competition. This is ridiculous. And make sure that you're not just calling her or coming around only when you need something. If you've got to get on a bus to go visit her or take an Uber or whatever, I think that you should do that. I think you should go see her in person. It's much harder when you're asking for something for somebody to deny you. It's harder if you're in person. For example, some people, they'll have children with other people and the child will want something from the dad. And then when the mom goes to ask, the mom gets shut down. But if the child were to go to ask, the child gets approved. High Priestess. See, your intuitive ability. I think that your mother's going to be able to sense that you need help, financially, and she has the ability to help you. It's probably going to come out of her savings, but I get that she's definitely saved a lot. She has enough to help you out. If she still goes to church, there needs to be something between you two that is like a similar thing where you guys can agree on something. The 6 of Wands, public fame and recognition and being rewarded. So she probably wants to be rewarded. I feel like you may end up using your intuitive ability to gain rewards. Victory, progress, and self-confidence. And whoever these competitive people are, they've got to get out of your energy because they're so not welcome. What else do we need to know? Yeah, seeing her in person, I think that that's a good thing for you, Kiwi Kid. Yeah. If you can. If you can't, maybe do a FaceTime where you're talking. It's like video call. Maybe do that if, Ace of Wands. A new project is needed. This is what I'm getting is going to get you out of the hole. That way you won't have to borrow from people. Urge to create, willpower, desire, power, potential, new beginnings, new opportunities, and growth. So I would be thinking about what you can do to make money without having to borrow. But then if you still have to borrow, it'd be cool if you could go in person. But if you can't go in person, maybe do a video call so you can talk to her at least somewhat face to face. I don't know if it's WhatsApp that you can do video call. Why in the heck did I just feel like the light flickered? That was weird. And when it always at the same time reconnects. So whatever that is has to do with time. The Chariot, a vehicle. Oh my gosh. It would be so good if you could save up money to get a car. That would be an answer to well, you have to save up money to get a car, then you have to get insurance, you have to get it registered. But all of that stuff, you know, I don't see why your family would not want to help you if they have the means to. So if you're honest with them, take the paperwork and everything and be like, this is the situation I'm in. Please help me. If they say no, then that shows a lot about their character. You'll be able to tell if they're saying no because they don't have it or they're just saying no because they don't want to help you. You know, they don't like you, but they love you. That's the difference. A lot of times people don't like their children, but they still love them. The Eight of Swords, these other people that are trying to compete for whatever, ridiculous, they're in some big trouble. They're going to be imprisoned. The way that came out was like they're in spiritual trouble. So maybe because of this magic in the past, that's why your family wasn't gung-ho about helping you. But that may change. But yeah, getting the money for a car. Also, if you can't get a car right away, because obviously that takes money, you can take an Uber. Another way you can look into if there's a train, and you can look into buses. Those are like the main ways that we can get around. And then if she doesn't live far away, if you got like an e-bike or something, you could use that. But I feel like if you make a conscious effort to connect with her, I do feel like she'll be appreciative of that. Let her know the truth about your situation. I wouldn't go into all of the black magic part, but let her know about the back pay and that you've been struggling and you've been on your own and how everything has gone down. You know, I feel like she's not a soulless person, so there's an opportunity for her to be able to actually give to you. If she doesn't, I would be very, very suspicious of that. Like, because for what reason? She'll believe you if you show her the documents. And if you show her whatever emails, whatever documents, she'll believe you. But yeah, why wouldn't she believe you? Like literally, I think that she's probably going to think, oh, he just wants money for this vain reason or that vain reason. And it's really not about that. So yeah. All right, so let's get a closing message here. What do we need to know moving forward? She won't believe you about the black magic. That's okay. People have done the same shit to me, and I'm pretty sure it's a side effect of the black magic why they don't believe that. But let people discover it in their own time. And if she's a Christian, she probably believes in magic. You know what I mean? She just could believe that you are crazy or something. I mean, that's what people have told me, even though there's been like, I'm like, yo, there's so much overwhelming evidence and proof of the shit. Like, I'm sorry, nobody can tell me that, like, when I've literally had so many experiences, not to back that up. Like, I'm not putting power into witchcraft. F that stuff. Seriously, that is so not cool and not powerful. But, you know, so yeah, I don't want to like idolize it or say that it's powerful, but I have gone through it. When I was going through it, I didn't know what the hell it was. Then I had to figure out what it was, and it's very disturbing and life ruining. The Four of Swords, this looks to me like a personal battle is ending. If you guys release like whatever this is that you're going through, if you release it, you give it to God, give your life to God, and just, you know, do what thou wilt with me, Lord. Higher self, divine. I also get that, you know, it's okay to let your guard down. Not everybody is out there to hurt you. In fact, a lot of you guys have more people that love you than people that don't love you. So when the things come through in this reading, it's just so that you're aware. And if I can see it, God's already seen it. You're getting opposition when you say things. Yeah, that probably means you're moving in the right direction. The Fool. Because remember when like you were there. If you know anything about Jesus, Jesus used to say things to people and they would give him a lot of opposition, right? About that. In fact, they unalived him over it. And so some people are just not conscious enough to understand what you say. And so that's why Jesus spoke in parables. But even that, I think people get confused and they take it out of context. Page of Wands, you guys have been very creative since you were young. I would continue with this creative energy. I also get that, this younger version of yourself, maybe this is what people are judging or not forgiving. It doesn't exist anymore. It's like you're no longer that younger person. Oh, you bought selenite. Nice. Selenite Hamza hands. Oh my gosh, I bet that's beautiful. Eye amulets for help. Good. Take the evil eye amulet. There's 2 ways you can charge it. I would use both. I've got mine sitting in a bowl of selenite, but literally take it and put it on the selenite. Also, when you leave the house, if you've got one that's like this, like I would have them in different forms, but I would take it with you when you leave the house. And now if you've got the ability, like a little piece of selenite, I would also take that with you. Selenite is a very, very powerful crystal, and it's really, really helpful, especially because it never picks up negative energy and it clears and cleanses everything. So that's what the charms you've been talking about. Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely got that you had gotten the evil eye charm, which is a good one. I would definitely have that around. Absolutely. I've got our Fetsanite. I've got some crazy stories about this crystal right here. It's called Arfvedsonite. It's the weirdest word ever. Arfvedsonite. This is the best crystal to keep away psychic vampires and people who drain your energy. And I've had some crazy stories about people who were being severely drained coming into the store. And it would be Arfvedsonite. I mean, I just feel better from just holding it for a second there, but the answer would be Arfvedsonite. And like literally that person, when they would get the Arfvedsonite, the person that was draining them would lose their shit. They would completely freak out. So yeah, crystals will do a lot, but they won't fix every single issue. And it's how you use the crystal. If you leave the house and the crystal's at home, it's not doing anything for you unless it is a clear quartz crystal. The clear quartz crystal can be programmed. It's like, I would say it's like a spiritual USB drive. So you want to program it with the things that you do want in your life, nothing that you don't want. If there's anything you don't want, you leave that out. Yeah, so you know what? Because we had the metaphysical store, I just have a lot of crystals, a lot of them. But I would just search online. Eventually, if I ever have time, I'll create like an online store. But if I do, I'm not going to sell big pieces like this. I don't want to be selling stuff that's going to take a lot of money to ship and tariffs and all of that. So that's the only reason, because of the tariffs and stuff, that I haven't opened an online store myself. But I've thought about it because I know how to make bracelets. In fact, we would make bracelets for different subjects. This one, is this it? Well, one of these bracelets in here, I've got so freaking many of them. There it is. This one was called the Ultimate Protection Bracelet. It's got moldavite, And it's got all these different, the best crystals for protection in it. And it has selenite, so it keeps itself clear. This, and then we would take the clear quartz part and we would program it. And so we had them for money. We had different ones for money, different ones for protection. You carry the clear quartz in your pocket. Good. Yeah. So for a programmable piece, you want to use something about the size of your thumb that you can program. If it's got records on it, that's even better. Eventually I'll have to bring a crystal down here that's got records on it, because I do have a lot of them. But yeah, so working with that, so you program it with everything that you want. So you say, I only allow positive in. I only allow positive in. Positive what comes to me, and it is the essence of the Most High. All that is good and great and righteous, holy and true and divine. That's what comes to me. And that's all. You want to program it like that. You put your intention into it. If you have to concentrate really hard, I pretty much just know that by speaking it, it's going to program it. By me holding it and speaking to it, it's going to program it. But clear quartz is one of the only ones that you can like program. And the thing is when you put a clear quartz next to any other crystal, like this is tourmalated quartz. This is the best crystal to keep out empathic energies. When you put quartz next to it, it amplifies the crystal range, the energy range of crystal energy, like by 100, by even maybe 1,000, where this puts off a radius of maybe like 2 feet. With the clear quartz, it's going to put off a radius of probably 10. And so, yeah, that's why when crystals are in the form of bracelets and stuff like that, it's really, really good. Okay. I feel like I want to use the Money Moves Oracle. I'm going to get a couple cards from the Money Moves Oracle. And we're going to see, yes. Okay, so Kiwi Kids, so if you've got your piece of clear quartz, hopefully it's about the size of your thumb. Also, Lemurian quartz is another crystal. The Lemurian quartz is quite magical because it's a crystal that's already been programmed by ancient aliens. Now, the Moldavite, this little bead right here probably costs like $40, $50. Okay, this basically it's what made these bracelets so expensive, because it's one of the rarest crystals, and it was a meteorite that came from outer space, so it's not of this earth, and it hit the Czech Republic millions of years ago. And so they at one point like stopped mining for it. They wouldn't sell any more of it. And so anyways, it's very, very expensive, and a lot of people will try to sell you fake Moldavite. You'll be able to know with Moldavite, okay? Because once you have it within your energy field, you're holding it for a certain amount of time. The Moldavite, because it's a higher vibration than everything on this planet, it will continue to ascend your energy. It's the best crystal for ascension. And the people who have had bad experiences with Moldavite are the people that don't want to face their trauma, because the Moldavite will flush out negative frequencies so that you raise your frequency and your consciousness. And so the Moldavite, if it's not cleared, it will pick up that residual negative energy that the person has. But yeah, Moldavite is awesome. It's an alien, it's an alien crystal. Lemurian quartz also, there's a prophecy about the Lemurian quartz crystals coming to the surface at the time of ascension, and that has actually happened. And so those are ones that are programmable as well. Surprise, an unexpected turn can bring positive change. Be ready for change. I love that. I love that. So yeah, there could be a surprise that comes in. I was hearing a ringing sound. I don't know where that was coming from or what that was, but maybe that was something that was just in my head. I was like literally hearing a ringing sound. Surprise. Yeah. Be ready for change. Love affair. Okay, I like this. Beware, love affairs at work rarely end well. Well, when you create something on your own, I don't think you'll have to worry about this, but whatever it is that you end up doing, you could be drawing in a lot of attraction. A lot of people that would be attracted to you. Whoa, too many cards at once, Spirit. I almost dropped all those. So what does he need to know moving forward? I want to get one more from this deck. Love is entangled with money. Is there anything we can do to separate that? Yes, let's do that. And then we invoke and evoke the Eye of Ra into every evil eye amulet. Fast changes. Things happen suddenly in a short period. So a surprise with love, fast changes. Take bold steps forward. I really want you to open up your heart and mind to the idea of another person. Okay? Because if you just sit around and wait forever, that's going to be very painful. Because there could be somebody that's so much better for you that, you know, you're not going to have to backtrack with. Money matters. Expense, save, cut costs, resource plan ahead. Make an informed choice. Invest your money wisely. So remember that when you get this money, to invest it wisely. Invest it in things that will give you a return. Like, what you get from me is a return. You get answers. You get not only answers, but you get divine assistance. When you invest your money, it will come back to you in a positive way. Vacation. Maybe okay, the vacation thing, when you do end up getting a lot of money, take a little vacation. I feel like taking some time to recharge would be good. Maybe you need to take a vacation and go see your mom. I mean, what would be ideal and perfect would be if there was an opportunity that could be offered to you that would give you some extra income. I feel like you can create one. You may be surprised though. But yeah, it would be ideal for an opportunity to come in. Direction. Do not deviate from your path. Attract a mentor if necessary. Plan where you want to be. If you're not happy in the place that you're living, start thinking about how to get out of that. Start asking the divine to show you what next step you need to take. Because I'm getting that you're not happy where you live at. The people around you are not happy where you live at. You may end up being surprised that you have some type of, I don't know why you wouldn't have, if your family has money, why wouldn't you have a trust fund or some type of fund for emergencies? See, this alchemy card is coming up again. Why is this card coming up? Using witchcraft occult and learning God's secrets transform the situation. So maybe you're being guided to literally, you know, put some positive energy out there for you. I won't say do witchcraft, but I will say alchemy is a good thing. When you can take whatever energy and alchemize it. For your own highest and best good. Resources. Alchemizing resources. Be grateful for what you have and save something for the future. Use wisely and as needed. So yeah, investing your money, using it wisely. Once you get it, don't be giving it away. Like, pay whatever bill you have to pay, but if somebody, don't tell anybody that you're going to receive money when you do receive this money or you do make this money. Don't tell people, because somebody's going to be like, oh, they'll want some of it, and it's not for you to share. It's for you to get yourself so that you're stable again. It's not for you. Yeah, don't take a gamble with lending anybody money. Irene was being patient with you until, yeah, and she was okay until Steve. I know. It's sad. But yeah, don't take a gamble on any person. If they say, oh, I can get it back to you in this amount, no, just when you have the money to spare in the future, when you have developed this new idea or whatever, and if somebody then comes to you and asks you, but when you're in this situation, the money that you have needs to go directly towards whatever bills that you have. It can't go into anybody else's pockets, just within reason, obviously. I mean, the help that you receive, yeah, but I'm getting that people coming up and just wanting you to borrow them money. I don't trust that. Sweet success. That's why I think when you do get this money, don't tell people. It's not difficult to get everything that you want and enjoy it. I would be using the affirmation, everything is always working out for me. Everything's always working out for me for my highest and best good. And be doing the God technique. Keep doing that because it's making a big difference in your energy. I'm not getting that you need to sage or anything. I'm literally getting that the God technique is doing all of that. So keep doing that. Keep changing your perspective. And you can get everything that you want. You don't have to take a gamble. You were born into like a wealthy like family. So why do these people feel like you don't deserve wealth? Maybe they think that you need to grow up. I feel like you're dealing with a situation to where you're actually disabled to where you can't work a 9 to 5 job. There is something else that you'll be able to do that will garnish you money. I think it has to do with spirituality or writing a book or something like that. But those things don't happen overnight. Star power, they don't happen overnight. I mean, the changes within you can happen instantly when you connect. But, it will require just a little bit of work attracting in the situation. Fruits of your labor, star power, become an influencer of the company and earn fame, popularity, step into the spotlight. Also, when you ask your mom for money, you could also say, do you have any jobs? Do you know of any jobs? Do you have anything that you think that I could do for you to help you out? Flexibility, and be flexible with trying new things, even with the disabilities that you have. Still be flexible with trying new things. Don't condemn yourself to be living a life to where, and this is what I have to tell myself because I'm disabled as well. I have to say, look, even though I'm facing the challenges that I'm facing, and realistically, I can't do a job in the traditional sense, even though I'm facing that, I don't look at myself and like I used to look at myself and be like, oh, I'm disabled and I'm broken and blah, blah, blah. No, now I leave open the possibility for me to evolve and get better because that would be better than being in the situation that I'm in. But we always have to, understand our situation. And I think that you're starting to learn how to understand the situation that you're in and why you're in it. And that part of everything, yeah, it's just changing your perspective. They don't help your mom either. They're selfish. Yeah. But it's one thing to be selfish. It's another thing to be greedy. Love life, free from problems and money troubles. Enjoy the passion of love. So you could end up meeting somebody and intermingling with them. I would look, it's telling you to literally be flexible with that, with your love life, to open yourself up. You may come across somebody that, I mean, wouldn't it be wonderful if you met somebody that was like good for you and then they decided to help you? I mean, I can help you in the way that I can help you, but I want you to have a physical lover there to help you, or even just a friend, a real friend. And so I would not carry the past traumas into the future. That's probably what I would use this alchemy for, to alchemize the past, mind power. You're an intelligent person. Use your intelligence to analyze data, my bad, data, logic, and think rationally. Lead with your mind. Okay, what else? Yeah, because you're in the energy of being exhausted. And I think it's because you've been having to fight so much spiritual warfare. That's probably why you feel like this. But I would look at it as like all the stuff that you just went through has just made you stronger. And it's putting you into a position now where if you use your mind and your creativity and what you know, like the knowledge that you know, you'll be able to create something that's long lasting and effective, which means it'll be a good service to other people and to yourself. And I want you to be doing something that you like to do, but you know, while be willing to humble yourself. Like when it comes to your mother, if there's something she needs done, be willing to humble yourself and do it for her. New beginning, because you can start a whole brand new relationship with her as long as she's willing to be on the same page and start over. Maybe that's what you should ask for. You will start a new job and life clean swipe over. I think that that's how God is going to restore you, to be quite honest. It's like from you feeling exhausted to having a brand new beginning. Because you feel financially drained and like you're lacking viable options, but I think there's more options out there. And I don't know why, you know, I pray that everyone's heart gets softened so that they want to help their own. Look, new beginning and endings. This is the two sides of the same coin. It's a transformation. So this new beginning is going to be an ending to you being exhausted. You're not going to be emotionally exhausted. I think that that's beautiful. When one door opens, one door closes. Social status. Your social status may increase. Whatever the hell that means. What does that mean? You will reach the heights of fame in society. If you follow a divine path, like you doing something with your abilities, even if it's, you know, like when I first started doing, I've been doing readings for a very long time, but when I first started doing them, like, you know, I charged like $25 when I first started doing them. I'm only charging 20 now. At one point I was charging hundreds of dollars. Excuse me. But those were in-person readings. The internet's a little bit different. So yeah, I think it's going to be an ending to some troubles here, especially if you put your mind to use. Look, any closed doors that were closed, it feels to me, look at this. Social status, it feels to me like you're going to end up opening some doors. All of that, and I hate to say this because I don't want to give no more power to the witchcraft, but all of that witchcraft that was affecting you, all it's doing is causing you to go through a transformation. At this point, that's all it's doing. It's trying to push a transformation. The transformation is going to happen anyways. What else do we need to know? What's the ending message about it? Spiritual work. Look, the spiritual work that you do on yourself is going to fix this situation. When you've changed inside, the way you feel about yourself and the way you feel that your family and stuff feels about you, I feel like when you renew yourself and go within and heal and address this trauma, and it says open your heart to a spiritual career. This is what I'm talking about. Whether it's writing a book, advising people. You have been through so much witchcraft, like you can easily advise people on how to deal with it. You've been dealing with it. Yeah, help heal the human heart. You are a light worker. This is the work that you're meant to be doing, and it promises you not only a big surprise, but a reward in this world and the other worlds. So it's like if you do end up choosing, welcome in, Marina. If you do end up choosing to do any type of spiritual career, it looks like it's going to pay for itself. Hi, sweetie. It's so nice to see you. Balancing life changes. You haven't had time to focus on your spiritual. Interesting. Okay. What would your guides like you to know and focus on? Give me 1 second. I will be right back. I need to put this one deck away. I love this deck. The colors in it are just so beautiful. And it pretty much represents almost all situations with money. There are some decks that I'm just so pleased with. Okay, I will be right back. Give me just 1 minute. Maybe 2 minutes. Okay, so I was just led to 2 decks that I don't use very often, but I really do love. Okay, so the first deck is the Starseed Oracle. We've used this one before, but there are still cards in it that I have never pulled. So I love that deck. And then the other one is called the Divine Feminine Oracle. So there is something going on within your Divine Feminine energy. So we're going to look at that and see what the Divine Feminine Oracle is. Basically an oracle deck of all these different Divine Feminine energies that could be around you or within you, or that you are connected to or associated with in some way or another. And I'm also getting that these energies have been around you for a while. I'm not getting a whole lot of stuff going on with your chakras that's out of place, but I do get that your Divine Feminine energy is activating at this time. Queen Esther, the morning star. I love this. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. So this is Esther, Queen Esther. So we're going to read about her. Maybe, let me just ask, was Marina Queen Esther? Yes. That is crazy. I'm not for sure who she is. That's one of the cards I've never pulled. Oh my goodness. Is this this had better be in alphabetical. If it's not, oh my gosh. Let's see. Let's go to E. This is definitely not in. Why? Why, God? Why? Oh my goodness. It's definitely not in alphabetical. Why do they do this? This is probably one of the reasons why I have not used this deck as often. Okay, we're gonna find it and figure out who this energy is, because you definitely represent this energy. Yeah, a lot of these names that I'm seeing, I don't even recognize. Well, I know Kali. Kali's in here. Lakshmi, I know who she is. I know who Parvati is. Saraswati. What I like about this deck is that these people were actually, a lot of them were Kuan Yin. See, she was a person in China. Divine people. And they don't number the card. That is freaking insane. Like, who did this? Who formed this? Oh, there's Lilith. Hi, Lilith. Let's see. Aha! Found it. Oh my goodness. I can't believe they didn't alphabetize it. Okay, so we're going to figure out who Queen Esther was. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. All right. So Esther represents the powerful combination of feminine intuition and divine timing. Esther was a Hebrew orphan born with the name Hadassah, raised by her cousin Mordecai. Oh, I know about Mordecai. Okay, Mordecai's from the Bible. She lived with the Jewish community in exile in Persia during the 5th century BCE. Mordecai became aware of a plot against the Jewish people created by the king's chief minister Haman. Using her brilliance and her intuition, Esther came up with a plan to save her cousin and her people. Her beauty had caught the attention of the king, so when his current wife, Vashti, refused to come to him when called, it's very specific, Esther seized the moment and the king chose her to be his wife. Wow. Then Esther didn't wait for the king to call her. She prepared a large banquet and then called for him. Oh my gosh. Once he was fully in love with her, she revealed that she was a Jew. Oh, okay. So there was some anti-Semitism in this situation. I wasn't aware of that till right now. Okay. And that Haman had plotted to kill her people. That's so bad. Oh my gosh. The book of Esther in the Tanakh, T-A-N. So if you want to read more about her, Marina, it's in the book that's spelled Tanakh. I don't know how to say that. Tanakh, maybe? Or the Hebrew scriptures is known as the scroll or the Megillah, Megilla, and it is read twice out loud, once in the morning and in the evening during the festival of Purim to celebrate the memory of Esther's brave actions. Her name is derived from the word meaning bright star or morning or an evening star. That would be the planet Venus. This is the name she grew into and she courageously trusted her intuition and used its divine timing to save herself and all of her people. So the ego has a timetable that the soul couldn't care less about. When we are feeling stressed or threatened in some way, fear can be exceptionally loud and can infirm the ego to work overtime in trying to get something accomplished or to manipulate something to happen. The natural flow of energy that's always at work behind the scenes, the universe's capacity to assist us, then gets blocked. So just reminding yourself that when you get stressed, to just relax, because you are a very brave, courageous person, and you see through people, so that you don't have anything to be worried about. It says, when we are in service of love, we are following the dictates of our soul. So whatever our soul is dictating us to do. And when the ego is in service of the soul, right? That's like mind coming into union with your heart. So when when there's that union, when we are in service of love and we are following the dictates of our soul, and when the ego is in service of the soul, divine timing ensues. Esther mastered this art of divine timing. Oh, wow. I just got a big download about that. So even under extreme duress, she listened wisely to her soul. She became a queen by letting her love for her people inform her feminine intuitive powers. This is her imperative. Trust that everything is aligning in divine timing. Trust your soul's voice. So your soul voice meditation can be, what do I intuitively know will happen in divine timing for me? Wow, that's a really deep question. Your intention can be, my ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. I love that. Queen Esther. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. That is so cool. You felt overwhelming. Yeah. And that you don't need to control everything. Sometimes we always feel like we need to control everything, but it's that need that actually ends up blocking us. And so when we allow things to just flow and open ourselves and know that everything's working out for our highest and best good, even if we can't see how, it's still going to. And even if we don't think that, oh, that's for our highest and best good, it could be because we're not seeing something that the divine sees. And I tell you guys all the time that sometimes we'll be disappointed because we don't see what God's protecting us from when we get rejected, right? People in general. The cosmic egg. I've never even seen this card. What is on it? Oh my gosh. It says, the divine feminine, I hold the universe within me. I am a force of an ever-expanding love. So that could be the sacred yoni energy. The cosmic egg. Wow. Wow. I thought that these were all just like women from this planet. Well, yeah, in the human consciousness. So the universe is within you. When you make the changes inside, the changes will happen on the outside. There's so many freaking cards in this deck that I can't believe they didn't do it. White Buffalo Calf Woman. Oh my gosh, I love her. Bridget, I love her as well. Some of these names, I straight up don't know who they are. So that's very interesting. Saint Bridget, she's got 2 sections. She's got 2. Sekhmet, Hestia. I know these ones. Freya, we know her. Inanna, we know her. Come on. I'm like at the end. There it is. Oh, it's at the very end. Oh, that's so annoying to me. That happens quite often. Or I'm like, why is it at the end? Okay. So I hold the universe within me. I am a force of an ever-expanding love. The cosmic egg is the core symbol of the divine feminine's creative force. It is a spiritual motive found in the creation myths of countless cultures and civilizations. It represents a birth, a new beginning, or an expansion of life. In the Rig Veda, that's a Hindu book, I believe, one of the oldest texts in any Indo-European language, the cosmos is described as a golden egg-shaped womb, just basically like that. The entire universe is said to have emerged from it. This is true. I have a dream. I've had a dream about this well, it wasn't exactly a dream, but I had an experience. So in Greek mythology, the Orphic egg, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. The Orphic egg hatched the primordial hermaphroditic deity. That hermaphrodite means boy and girl at the same time, who then created all of the gods and goddesses. It's depicted as an egg with a serpent wrapped 3 times around it. In Egyptian, Chinese, and Polynesian mythologies, among many other, creation begins with an egg. And in the Christian tradition, Mary Magdalene used the egg to describe how life begins again after death. In modern cosmology, it is believed that 13 billion years ago, the entire mass of the universe was comprised into gravitational singularity, the so-called cosmic egg. And from that singularity, the universe has expanded ever since to its current state, and it continues in this moment to expand even further. When your soul selects this card, nothing needs to happen. Everything is exactly as it should be. I do get that. I get that you're in the right place at the right time. You hold the universe inside you. All life emerges from within. If you try to exert pressure for something to exist before it's ready, that new life within you won't have the time it needs to fully form. Think of how an egg, like when somebody is having a baby, think about like elephants. They're pregnant for 3 years. Like they have a humongous child though. Any type of creation that you have that you bring to your sacred womb, you just need to understand it's got to have time to gestate, and that means mature before it can become a fully, just like any child, a fully seen object. Let's say it that way. So the cosmic egg is the essence of the divine feminine. It's the ultimate symbol of the creative force that exists within each one of us. It's the dark, loving womb that holds and protects all creative expressions of life. So this like birth could be you conceiving a project. It doesn't have to be a child. If we allow what's within to emerge in divine timing in kairos or soul time, then that what's within us will transform us. The egg is the trust that what in ours can never be taken from us. So the egg, yeah, what's inside this egg can never be taken from you. And trusting that, okay? It's for ultimate transformation. So it's like there's no need to answer to the ego's push to rush the process. Because again, you can't, just like a pregnancy, think of like whatever project this is, if you want success now, or if this is working on your body, whatever it is, just think that over time, it's something that's going to take place, that's going to take a little bit of time to manifest. This is talking about that there's no need to answer the ego's push to rush the process. Just like you can't rush a pregnancy, with this spiritual development, you can't rush it. So that's what it's saying. To impress others or to complete something on someone else's timeline. If somebody else is pressuring you to do something in their timeline, just know that you're the lead character of your own story. The egg is the faith that our process is sacred, that even in the midst of what looks like chaos or delay or even death, there's a tendril of new life that needs only our trust to eventually take form. And the egg is the knowing that life begins again after death from within. So all of the parts of you that have gone into the death state, it's like a rebirth. Because remember, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just can be changed forms. I mean, I think we do create our own energy, but it's still God's energy. So the soul voice meditation for this card is, where am I ready to expand? There may be areas in your life, Marina, that you're ready to expand at this time. This could be within your own divine feminine aspects and also within your love life. I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever expanding love. I love that. And that's the intention for that card. Okay, I want to get one more and then we're going to get a star seed card. But I'm getting that basically it's going to take time to gestate. So just keep feeding it, keep nurturing it, just like if it were a seed, because this is something within you that's happening. So it's much bigger than what you're thinking. Like think universal scale, okay? Rita of Cascia, the patroness of impossible causes. You could be feeling that something's impossible. This saint-looking person, I love this picture. These pictures are awesome. It says, I am miraculous. My prayers create powerful channels of possibility. Rita of Cascia. I think I have read this one before. I mean, she looks really saint-like. Rita of Cascia. Hopefully I'm saying that right. So it says Saint Rita of Caskia's life demonstrates the power of prayer to shift even what appears to be an impossible cause. She was born Margherita Lotti in 1381 in Italy to noble parents. She is associated with bees because as a child it is said that they swarmed her but never stung her. And bees are symbolic of Mary and of the diligent work that must be done to gather honey, or the immortal sweetness of Christ's love. Although Rita wanted to enter a covenant, she was forced to marry Paolo Mancini and had her first child at age 12. Oh my gosh, that is so traumatic, yo. Could you imagine being a 12-year-old, not even understanding your period, and then you have a child? That would be insane. Oh, that's so sad. Wow. Her husband was a wealthy nobleman who had many enemies in Caskia. Rita endured abuse and infidelities, but through prayer and kindness, she converted him to Catholicism, and that fixed everything. I'm just kidding. Sorry. He then renounced the family feud known as La Vendetta. That's where the word vendetta comes from. La Vendetta, the vendetta. Oh my goodness. Wow, well done, Rita. Seriously, very impressive. Even though Paulo had become a new man, a member of the feuding family unalived him because of his previous acts. What you do will come back to you. Rita's two sons wanted to avenge her father's death, but before they could, both died of dysentery. Whoa, that is crazy. After this got wild fast, yo. After the death of her husband and sons, Rita wanted to enter the monastery of St. Mary Magdalene in Caskia. She was given the condition that her family had to reconcile with the family had how oh my gosh, this is crazy. She was given the condition that her family had to reconcile with the family that had unalived her husband before she could gain entrance. That's like one of the hardest things. I would be like, so you want me to go jump into the ocean and, milk the Kraken or some stuff. Like that would be something so hard to do. Okay, anyways, like literally the vendetta, the way they said it like that. So she was given that condition. That's not cool. Rita prayed to her patron saints, John the Baptist, Augustine of Hippo, and Nicholas of Tolentino, to assist her in creating peace between the two rival families. The bubonic plague was ravaging Italy at the time and happened to take several members of both families. This was enough hardship that they agreed to relinquish the feud. Well done, Rita. Rita entered the St. Mary Magdalene Monastery at the age of 36. Wow. Catholic legend says that she was transported into the monastery by her three patron saints via levitation. That sounds pretty scary, like a horror movie. You just see this like saint nun person levitating into the building. Wow. And legends also relates that while she was meditating on Christ at age 60, a ray of light pierced her between the eyes. The stigmata remained there. Stigmata? Okay, maybe it's a different type of stigmata. The stigmata remained there until her death of tuberculosis in the monastery in 1457. When your soul selects her card, despite popular belief, Saint Rita isn't about suffering or martyrdom, not in this context. Here she is about the miracles that happen when we choose to be steadfast about something or someone. This does not mean remaining in a situation that is harmful to us. It means knowing that we can believe anything is possible and that everyone is ultimately forgivable. It's like making me cry. Because forgiveness isn't about someone else, it's about freeing ourselves. Crazy. We might have to draw fierce boundaries and possibly never see this person again, but we can pray from any distance that a light larger than our own transforms them, that a love that's greater than what we alone can hold and have for them might offer them a new life. When I say pray for your enemies, she is like the saint of praying for your enemies. Oh, you can enter the monastery if you make peace between these two feuding families that have been at war for probably decades. That's crazy. That's like saying like, here, why don't you, before you can enter into the monastery, go end the mafia. Like, it's like saying something like that. That's why I think that she is wild for that. So it says Saint Rita is asking us foremost to never give up on what we want for ourselves, and she's suggesting that the path to what we desire is in our belief. If it's in our belief, it is still possible. Yes, we might not know, or we might know when things will align for us. So sometimes we will know and sometimes we won't know, okay, is what it's saying. But we can participate in a deep prayer, a bone trust that at some point, what we most desire will arrive. So the soul voice meditation says, what do I believe is possible for my life? And the intention is, I am miraculous. My prayers create powerful channels of possibility. So with this new creation, come into it with the energy that Saint Rita of Cascia had. Because look at this. Look at these brave women. This is your divine feminine, universe within. This is your past life. And then this is another aspect of you. Like this is an archetype right here. This is a literal past life, but this is an archetype right here. This archetype is something that you have that you can adopt very easily. That story was really like up and down emotionally. It was kind of sad, but it was also happy. Okay, so I want to pull a card from the Starseed Oracle because I was getting that the Starseed Oracle also, we were going to do 3 from this deck. So I'm gonna do a bonus card for you, and we're gonna pull from the Starseed Oracle. Which I'm not gonna make sure they're all in the upright, am I? Let's see. There are cards in this deck also that I have not pulled before. And this, I know that this book is not alphabetical. And like, what are people doing? Why are they doing that? When we all had to learn the alphabetical system, why not just use it for sanity reasons? You know what I mean? Because I love to hear what the book says. I can give you what I pick up on, but I love hearing what the book says because the book always says good stuff. And they take this time to write it. They need to just, you know, I mean, I'm doing a lot of complaining about it not having numbers on it, but it's not my book. It's not my deck. So if I created a deck, there would be numbers on it, on each card, and then I would just either number it. I'd probably number and alphabetize it so that it would just be very easy. Oh my gosh, there's so many of these that I have never seen before. Wow. Wow. Okay. I think we are good to go. Okay. Now that they're all in the upright, not to be a perfectionist, but all right, let's see. For Marina. What do you want her to know? I'm getting that this is going to have to do with like you expanding, you growing, you going with the flow, maybe you accessing a new part of yourself. Okay. Weight of the world. You don't need to carry the weight of the world on your back. Remember to release it. I think that you relaxing in water is a big sign. Like that may be very healing for you. If you have a lake you can go to, it's also reminding you to set boundaries with people. Don't allow other people's problems to become your problems. Okay? And if you recognize a problem within somebody else's problem that you have, like sometimes people will come to you and they'll regurgitate what you need to work on to heal. But sometimes people will just regurgitate what they have to regurgitate. Sometimes you just have to vent. And I totally get that people come to you to vent, but I wouldn't allow it to become a normalized process. Because literally that can be kind of draining, and it's like you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and it shouldn't be. Okay, everybody has their own responsibilities. It says boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. When you learn your own energy, and it just takes some time. For me, what I do is I check the chakras. So I go through the chakras. If I'm not feeling good, I will go what chakra is out of alignment, and I'll go through each of the chakras, and then I work on them. I actually connect and I clear them. And so that's how I kind of have been able to tap into my own energy and do something to help it. But I also have had to learn to put up boundaries with people, to not let people walk all over me. And even though I'm a nice giving person, to do so within reason, to not overly give. When I was like a kid, I would, if I had a sweatshirt on and somebody was cold, I would like give them my jacket. Like I didn't understand. And I would get in trouble, where's your jacket? Oh, I gave it to so and so. Absolutely not. I got in trouble for that, but I didn't understand. I feel like you kind of carry that same pure, innocent spirit. So the weight of the world, this is you chilling and relaxing. This is what I feel like you can do. If you've got a bathtub, that would be great. If you can go to a body of water, that would also be really good. It says, you don't need to carry it all. You don't need to carry at all, I would say, but you don't need to carry it all. You're no good to anyone if you're running on empty and bogged down by the weight of the world. This card is a reminder to look after your own well-being before anyone else's, to stop carrying the world's problems on your shoulders. If you have back pain, again, I'm not a doctor, but I have noticed that people that do carry the weight of the world on their shoulders, they will have some type of discomfort and back pain in general. And I don't want you to have that. So by releasing the weight of the world, I think that you're doing yourself a huge favor. It says to stop carrying the world's problems on your shoulders, to stop your own to put on your own oxygen mask first. In these changing times, it's hard not to feel overwhelmed by the state of the planet. You're going to see a lot of things that make you feel upset or triggered, but you just need to understand that if you're seeing it, you're pulling it into your reality. And it's not, everything is not your job to fix. Some things will get fixed on their own. It's your job to work on fixing you in here. When you fix you in here, what you see on the outside of you will start to fix, or you'll be able to rise above it. So like it won't bother you as much. But I know that you're a humanitarian, so certain things really get under your skin when it comes to the human race. And so yeah, releasing that as well. I think your connection with water is very important. So you don't want to become energetically depleted. Getting some arfetzonite. This crystal is called arfetzonite, and it protects from psychic vampirism. I would get a bracelet of it though, or a ring or something like that. It's spelled ARFVEDSONITE. So this card is thanking you for caring so much. You want to build a better world and ease the road for others. And that's incredible. But the way that you've been doing so is likely unstable or unstable and unsustainable. This isn't to say that you should switch off the world's problems and become unconscious. So not turning off the world, it's not to ignore. So it's like be able to see things, and it's going to trigger you. I mean, we can't stop somebody from being triggered. If you were to see a homeless person, that's a little bit triggering. It just is in general. But just know that you can only do what you can do, and you've got to do for yourself so that you can be there for other people, so that you can have a life. And what I'm getting is to not feel guilty. You can tell people the answers. In fact, you do quite often, but sometimes they don't want to actually follow that. They just want to do, they don't want to know what the answer is to their problem. You're going to come across people like that just want to complain. Says the way that you've been carrying this weight is unsustainable long term. This isn't to say that you should switch off the world's problems. Nobody could do that. I mean, literally, you could turn off the TV and stop watching the news and stuff like that, but you're still going to interact with other people and you're still going to do something else that could bring up a world issue. So it's not to say like, oh, we're just turning that off and we're not going to pay attention to that, because the things that we ignore get bigger usually, or they come back to mess with us. Sometimes if we ignore something, it'll go away like a dog, but the dog's gonna, if it's your dog, it's gonna come back, right? Like, so thinking of it that way is finding a balance in between being the person that is being triggered and seeing the situation and feeling a type of way, and then the person that is being responsive. It's still you, but finding a balance between you not giving a response to it in a way that it's going to keep perpetuating it in your reality, right? But then going within and being like, okay, what is it about homeless people and seeing the homeless that makes me feel this way? So that you're actually addressing the issue within. What thoughts and beliefs do I have? Do I believe that when I walk outside my door, or if I go to the gas station, or if I blah, 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 that I'm going to run into a homeless person? Do I feel unsafe or afraid of running into somebody that's homeless? This is just examples of questions that you want to be asking yourself. Because what I'm getting is like, for you, it's not possible to just switch off your empathic ability. It's not possible. Like, just for me, I could never turn my gifts off. I literally had to use them to figure out how they work. And then I still can't control them. I'm like not, and now I'm not dumb enough to try to. When I was younger, I would try to, would like try to drink it away and all this stuff, and it just, nothing ever worked. So I just had to embrace it. So the planet needs you to be healthy. This is talking about, it's a call to establish clear boundaries so that you're not constantly taken out energetically. And the planet needs you to be very healthy, both physically and emotionally. So instead of digesting the news or researching on your phone as soon as you wake up, show up first to a nourishing place and practice, such as meditation or going outside. I know it could be really hot wherever you guys are at. I know Europe is going through like a heat wave thing and it's really bad, but if you can just get outside for just a few minutes in the morning. I did that the other morning and I really liked it. And I was like, oh, I'm up. I kept just thinking about this one flower that I hadn't clipped the dead buds on, and it was bugging me. So I just like got up and I went outside. And I feel like the earth was like, come outside, come out and touch grass. Let's get going in a positive way. So taking that into consideration. And it says that you can do meditation, soul inquiry, deep breathing, or exercising in nature, like going on a hike. But if you're going to go on a hike, I'm always going to tell you to take bear spray with you. You might run into an animal if you're in the forest or in the mountains. You don't want to be caught without any form of protection, whether it's a person or an animal that you could come across if you're like going hiking, in obviously into a forest or a mountain or wilderness type situation. In fact, I would carry like a little fanny pack, because you're probably going to have your phone with you no matter what, right? I would always take your phone, but I would also carry a backup. If I was going hiking, I would carry probably a backpack with water and backup stuff if you're going for a short hike. But I'm getting that you may end up finding that walking in nature, it's going to unveil something for you. Yeah, I see you being surrounded by a bunch of trees and you having some type of epiphany. It says once you're in a state of grace and your inner well is full, you can face the day, the state of the world, and care for others. And at the day's end, take an energetic shower by emptying out anything that's not yours to carry. So literally, I think that that's a beautiful idea. Because you are an empath, it would be really good for you to release you sit with a tree in your yard, totally makes sense. To release, it would be very good for you to release the energies because you do pick up other people's energy a lot. Says you can pick it up again in the next morning if you choose, but give yourself time and space to rejuvenate and rest. What are you carrying that isn't even yours? If you have any emotions that you're like, I don't know why I feel this way, or I don't know why this is happening, start asking if it's yours. If you find out that it's not yours, then stop engaging with it. Be like, okay, spirit, this is not mine. I clear myself of this negative energy that's not mine. I think that that's going to do you a lot of good. Thank you guys for making it to the ending of this reading. I love you so much. And thank you everybody that donated. Just a reminder, if you are interested in learning to read cards for yourself and for other people, Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells is the book for you. It's the book that I've written, and it's got 23 tarot card spreads in it off of the major arcana cards in the tarot. And this book will help you to learn to read cards for yourself and other people. It's got a lot of, it's literally so addictive to use, and it's so much fun. And you can use it with other people, and you can use it with yourself. I also have tagged in the products and linked in the description box below the original Rider-Waite Tarot deck. If you were watching earlier in the reading, I was using a different deck. I think it was the Twin Flame deck. And I didn't like the picture that they gave me for one of the cards, so I kept going back to the original. So that if you learn the original, you'll be set. You can go to any other deck. And so I've got this. This also has the description on the cards. And so you want to get, if you're going to learn, if you're going to invest and really get serious about learning how to read for yourself and others, this is the book that will take you there. It'll be a book that you use more than once. You'll use it quite often. And there's no wrong way to use it. You can go straight to the tarot card spread that you're interested in. And then after you do the tarot card spread, it gives you the information. Other people have been telling me that they've been using all sorts of different decks with this book and that it still works. And so that makes me really happy because I've only used it. I've done all of the spreads and spells in this book, but I've only used it with the original Rider-Waite Tarot. So to find that out, that made me really happy. Also, those of you that want to advance yourself spiritually, connect with God's energy. A lot of what I do, I'm not talking to spirits. I'm literally using the techniques from this book and the gifts and abilities that I have naturally. So this is the Truth of God. It is an advanced intuitive living workbook. You guys check that out. It's tagged in the products, linked in the description box below. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all of your support. God bless you. Peace be with you. Please like this video, tap the notification bell. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Kisses, hugs. I love you guys. Peace be with you. From my heart to yours. God bless you. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.